Sarah, what the fuck's going on?
I mean, fuck. Everything's going on.
I know, you're full of chaos at the moment.
Understatement. Yes. You know what, though? Actually, I feel like I just got out of chaos.
Welcome to the show.
This is rosé in a Jameson glass with a straw, everybody.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's accusing you of taping models without their consent. And
oh, God.
Yep, just went right into it.
You know what, though? I can't even drink this normal because of my Botox. So I have to go to the side.
That's so Hollywood.
Mm-hmm. It really is, though. But I got my Botox in Utah, so it's like Hollywood, Utah.
Well, it's
Hollywood.
It's thrifty Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly. I got the best Botox in Utah. To me, I'm saving money because here, I think in Utah it's like $12 a unit, and here it's like $125. That's an exaggeration.
I don't know. I've never gotten Botox.
Really?
No.
You look really young.
Aw.
But there is a lot of movement with your eyebrows.
There is. It's I don't think I need to lose my expressive face.
No, keep it.
It's the plan.
Yeah.
It is the plan.
If I didn't have Botox, my face would be everywhere.
Don't you want your face everywhere?
Yeah, but like crazy. It already moves a lot. But as you can imagine, before I started Botox years ago, I just had my face is so expressive that I was already getting lines here and like everywhere on my forehead and
that fucking.
I know people say it doesn't matter, but
it does.
It does.
Yeah, you unfortunately.
It's an option. That's the point. It's an option, and I took it, and I'm not going overboard with it. I keep things very simple and natural. My friends and I, we have a rule where if I start to look bad, they're going to lock me in a house and not let me do anything until everything's dissolved.
How will you know? Will they just throw a bag over your head and be like,
mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, one of my friends reached out to me and she was like, your lips look really big. And then turns out I just overdrawn them. But she did call me out. She was like, you need to stop doing shit to your lips. And I'm like, I promise I just overdrew them.
I swear it's just an illusion.
Mm-hmm. It's not real.
I mean, none of it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole fucking biz. Because it's like, if you were just like in the real corporate world and like not trying to sell your looks constantly, wrinkles and lines, fine.
Mm-hmm.
But seeing as you're competing with other people and being judged by just what fucking people see, like, I get it.
Yeah, that's not why I do it, though. I just do it because I like the feeling of not being able to move my face. It's nice.
Whatever makes you happy.
No, but it's not. I don't look at it like it's a competition. I'm in my own thing. Like, I'm happy in my own little space, and if I get a BBL slapped in my face during a scene, I'm a happy girl.
What I look at it is like cream rises to the top anyways.
Yeah.
Like, yes, there are other people that are potentially going for the same roles as you, but it doesn't mean you have to hate the people that, other people are choosing or not choosing.
For sure, yeah. And it's so weird because I'll say that again. Like, I actually still, what you just said, we're all competing for the same roles. I don't even think about that. Like, for me, I feel like I have such a, I'm just myself. Like, I'm weird. I'm quirky. I have my own character, especially with stepmom stuff. Like, I'm just quirky. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't, like, me being myself, I can't see that anywhere else. And maybe that is comforting to me. But then also, I just don't think about it.
Well, and nor should you. You'll drive yourself fucking crazy.
Yeah. Like, everything is amazing.
You sure you live in LA?
I know, it's weird. That's why I don't go anywhere or do anything, because then I can just keep living in my little bubble of delusion. I'm Delulu.
Like, it's okay. Everything's fine. Everything's okay. If I go overboard, they'll put me in a house until it's not.
Free food. Yeah, they'll even give me a little white jacket.
Oh, your friends are very kind then.
Like, they'll come in and itch my back if I need them.
I think you are severely think the American healthcare system is much better than it actually is.
Yeah, probably. I'll probably end up homeless on the street, making friends who are offering me free drugs.
Well, at least they're nice enough to not charge you.
That's true.
It's okay, sir. If you ever end up homeless, you can crash on my couch.
Thank you.
So we're both homeless, and then we'll have to move the couch out to the curb. But
Hey, a couch on the curb sounds nice, though.
till we have to fight other homeless for it.
Yeah, but like, just think about the stars. Like, you just get to lay out there and stare out and see.
Are you good with a knife?
No,
You're really not helping with the couch defense.
but you probably are really good with a knife.
Not in any real world situations.
Don't tell them that.
The homeless aren't listening right now.
I'm not talking about the homeless.
Well, who else do you expect to fight up for the couch on the block?
Oh yeah, it would be the homeless. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right. Sorry, that's the thing. I'm not. I don't know anything. So.
Yeah, I'm not fighting the police if they come to evict us from the couch.
Well, I heard that there ain't really any police around here these days, anyway. So.
That's not inaccurate.
Yeah. So crazy. Ugh.
LAPD is amazing at times.
Yeah, actually, it's just like the law enforcement in general. I had a situation with my brother. He actually, I needed to do a welfare check in Seattle. And it was really hard to get anybody to check on him because they're like, we don't have anybody to do that. We are understaffed. And I'm like, okay, well, if you're going to, who's going to check on him? And they had nobody.
See, that's when you call me like, I think there's a dead body in that apartment.
And then they would all show up.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just really throw the funding somewhere else then. Like, give us other options.
They need to. They absolutely need to.
Where's that money going? If it's been defunded, where is it going?
I don't know. I just pay my taxes so I don't go to jail.
Right. I'm like, but look at all these homeless people. Like, you know that there's tax stuff going on. I don't know.
From what I understand, part of the problem with LA's homeless situation is once people have been outside for a while, they decide that like, this is the life for me. Why the fuck would I go back to rules once they're accustomed to it? So it's hard to actually convince people to go back inside.
It's also a lot of mental health stuff too. Like there's a lot of people who probably need a lot of assistance and they're not getting that, or maybe they are and they don't want it. It's like somebody who's got schizophrenia, but they think the medicine isn't good for them. So then they just, go to the streets. And that's why it's really important to just be kind and understanding and all that stuff.
Yeah, I dated a girl with schizophrenia once.
Really? How was it?
It was really good and really bad.
Was the sex good?
Well, yeah, but she once said to me like, oh, I don't take my meds because it dulls the colors.
Oh.
Just like, but in the moment as a 20-something-year-old dude, I'm just like, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of like the book, The Giver. You ever read The Giver?
I'm illiterate.
Really? So The Giver, it's a really good book actually, but basically everyone's in this society where it lacks color. It's kind of like a bland, the movie, I think it shows it as black and white. And then everyone's assigned to different roles within this community as they age. And this one kid gets the assignment of the giver The giver, it's this one person who basically knows everything. He sees everything. So then this kid goes in and he just starts to train under the giver, and he's going through all these different scenarios. They almost kind of describe it as like a meditative state, but then he starts to see pain, colors, just all these different things. And he ends up escaping this society and he grabs his little baby brother, but then he sees color and snow and all this stuff. It's kind of cool.
Sounds like hell.
There's a movie, actually, The Giver. They just came out with it, and not they just came out with it, but they came out with the movie, and Taylor Swift is in it. It's an old book.
The movie's 10 years old.
Yeah, it just came out 10 years ago.
2014, yeah.
Yeah, 10 years ago, it just came out.
Are you experiencing that passage of time too? It's just like, oh yeah, 2014 was yesterday.
It kind of feels like COVID just fucked everything up.
Just a little.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Yeah. 2014, where was I? I was 24. I don't know where I was.
You can always go back to your phone and check the photos.
2014. I think I was in Idaho.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Have you been to Idaho?
I have, actually.
Which part?
Boise.
Oh, that's not too bad.
It was weird.
I was in Connecticut.
Connecticut, Idaho?
No, I was in Connecticut.
Oh, okay. I'm like, there's a Connecticut, Idaho.
2014. Yeah, I remember I had braces. I was in Connecticut and I was working at a place. I was a secretary. For
Exciting.
the summer. Yeah, it was for pest control. It was a pest control company summer job.
I've never had pleasant experiences in Connecticut, so.
Really?
Yeah.
It's okay. Like, it's not great, but.
Dated a girl from Hartford at one point. And yeah.
All of your bad stories relate to dating.
Yeah.
Oh.
The schizophrenic girl and I are still friends. I don't know. I don't necessarily think that was bad. It was when we broke up, though. It was just like, oh, you're actually mentally ill. This isn't on me. Okay.
Hell yeah. That's why I should probably start dating men. Nope. Just kidding.
It's
mentally
Hollywood.
Ill people is just like,
You will have.
Depends on the mentally ill. Like, what is it?
You're just going to show up with a whole test like, this is going to be a psychiatric interview.
I don't know. That's not nice for me to say that, but I'm like, I don't know. Which one would it be? Multiple personality could be interesting.
For a short time.
Depending on the personalities.
Yeah, but you don't know how many are buried in there.
Yeah, but then that's what makes it exciting.
Till it's not.
Yeah, that's true.
And, being in LA, they would probably have some job in entertainment on top of it. So
for sure. Yeah. Probably working for like the Ellen DeGeneres show or something. Yeah.
They were perfectly sane before they started working there. And Ellen actually is the one who drove them to multiple personalities.
Exactly.
They had to, one personality just is like the one they have to suppress because that's the one Ellen tortures. So.
Oh, yeah. I heard that she's crazy.
I heard she's not a nice person. I don't know if she's crazy or not.
Yeah. Well, I heard I think it was a birthday party or something and only like 4 people showed up. But I don't know if that's true or not.
That's what happens when you're not a nice person.
Exactly.
It's one of those things is like, as I've gotten older, it's just like, oh, wealth and fame are not necessarily great things to have.
I know. We're good. We're just chilling. Like, we don't need to worry about wealth and all the stress that comes with counting all that money.
In all reality, like the fear of like, who do you trust when you become that wealthy?
Nobody.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah. But at the same time, I'd be like, I have too much money to care.
Till someone steals it from you.
But if I have enough, like, maybe it wouldn't matter. I think I was listening to a comedian, and this is real. I think it was Jimmy Choo or something, but he was talking about how he doesn't know how much money he has coming in and going out. He just has his financial advisor handle everything.
I couldn't do it. The too many horror stories of like, look at fucking Dane Cook. His own brother ripped him off for millions.
Did he really?
Mm-hmm.
Was he an advisor or what?
Yeah, he was handling Dane's finances at like the height of Madison Square Garden and shit.
What did Dane do?
Sued him?
He sued his brother?
Yeah, if your brother takes you for multiple millions of dollars.
Yeah. Well, how much money did he have left?
Not much.
Oh, yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah. You hear stories about...
It's fucked up no matter what, but...
You hear these stories about financial advisors just taking people's money because they're like, I just trust the guy. Or more recently, I'm like just trusting a guy who got recommended to the whole... You know about the whole Cast Media situation?
No.
So Cast is a podcast network that has a bunch of big podcasts on it.
Uh-huh.
They're in the middle of... They have defaulted on millions of dollars in advertising payments to their hosts.
Really?
Yeah. And when these people were interviewed, like these various hosts, like, well, it was just word of mouth. Like someone's like, oh, they were doing really well by me. So like I signed up with them. And that's just how it works in Hollywood because it's like the trust is built, the interpersonal relationships, and then like someone takes advantage of that trust.
That's how it always works. And I don't think people realize it's so hard to go off the word of like one of the bigger people because when it comes to, let's just call it scams, right? They always have their select, they're not going to fuck over the big person.
Right.
That's, the example.
That's the bait.
That's the one who's validating the whole operation. And the unfortunate thing about it is this big person they don't know what's going on. So then when all this shit goes down, everyone gets mad at that person. And it's like, no, y'all need to stop that shit and start looking at the source.
Right. And it's one of those things where it's just like, they weren't privy to these people's business practices. As far as I knew, they were getting paid. Right.
Or they thought the person was a good person. It's so true. I've seen it. I've seen it recently too, like in certain situations where it came out that they were a terrible human being, and then everyone else is like, this person invited this person to their parties, and this person, and it was all networking. So this person was able to get more victims, and they started attacking the other person who was hosting parties and inviting. But it's like, this person genuinely had no idea.
Right. It gets real crazy. I don't know if you've seen it in your time in, but it's just like,
I've been in for a year, so a little over a year.
It'll happen again, I'm sure.
It's already happened like 2 or 3 times.
But someone will be called out for being a predator, and then someone prominent will come to their fucking defense.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, that person's always been cool. And like, on one hand, like the court of public opinion can get out of fucking control.
Mm-hmm.
But I know in those situations where it's like, oh, well, I was friends, I just shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, man, you're on your own.
You figure this shit out, and like, I'm going to be over here sleeping on my sofa outside. Bye.
At least I have a fairly famous roommate now, so.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just like, I've learned in my year now to just stay out of it.
You have to.
Like, even with all the shit that went down with Motley, I was roped into it after I left without even knowing. So it's like, even as a innocent person who was just there, I was like wrapped into some shit that I had no idea.
Well, yeah, because you were one of their models, so.
Well, I was the example. And the thing about it is Motley, and this is all things that are coming out, but they wanted to sell that company for millions of dollars. They were trying to. So when I left, and I know of like one other girl who left around that time before me. And then I think before that, there was one who left like months before. But when I left, I was the second one to leave within this time frame. And I was kind of viewed as this example. And in June, I was working a ton. And I was happy. I was like, yeah, everything's great, you know? And then I posted about how happy I was, and all of a sudden it just stopped. And I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on? And then I had heard from a director that one of the agents with Motley was saying that I was problematic, that I was like talking about the company and all this stuff. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. I don't care. Like, I've moved on with my life. And then after everything came out, another director apologized and said, I wanted to book you, but I was told that you were an issue for people to work with.
I'm having a horrible time. Like, you've been nothing but problems this whole fucking time.
I know, I'm sorry, but like, I'm angry, I'm jaded.
Don't cut me, please. Please.
Well, I don't know how to use a knife, so.
That'll make it even worse.
I know. You better watch out.
I am. Like,
yeah.
There's a table in between us, thankfully.
Thank God. You'd be so done.
Fucking stabbed. Ugh.
But yeah, that's the thing. It's just like, at first I thought it was because they thought I was talking, but then it ended up, I was just an example. Like, I was like, look at her. She's not doing well. You don't want to leave, because without Motley girls, there is no Motley to sell.
All the agencies, all of them, are exploiting their talent. That's the name of the game. And it's kind of fucked up because, like, a traditional agency, that person works for you. Mm-hmm. Did you ever feel that Motley worked for you?
No.
Right. And that's not exclusive to Motley. That's not me talking shit about Motley. That is how it works.
There is no Motley, but yeah, it's gone.
Right. They're some other branded name now.
Yeah, and the people that are with them now are good people. And that actually took me time to feel good about it. But as far as I know, they're good people. But I know of a couple people that are in it that I'm like, okay, you guys are good people.
Yeah. Personally, I've never met Dave. I've never interacted with David.
Really?
Yeah, not once.
Interesting.
Which is interesting to me because I've had plenty of Motley's talent on here over the years. And I was told off the record by some of them, like, oh, Motley recommends that we come to your show.
Really?
But I had never met Dave. I'd met Ryan a handful of times.
Uh-huh.
Like, but I don't know them as people.
Mm.
Like, it's just one of those things. And like, I always appreciated like them sending talent my way. But at the end of the day, I don't know these fucking people.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I don't think anybody really knew those people. Even I didn't know those people. But I feel like they knew not to give me too much access to information, which is fine. But like I said, the less you know, the better.
Ignorance is bliss.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it really is, truly.
That's why The Giver sounds horrible. Like having all the knowledge how would you not just end it?
Basic knowledge, like how snow feels.
Yeah. Could you imagine how overwhelming it is if you've been blind your whole life to all of a sudden see?
What if you were able to see and you opened your eyes and it was like a hairy asshole?
Depends on what you're into.
Yeah, that's true.
Some people are very aroused by hairy assholes.
Gross. Not me.
Good to know.
Mm-mm.
Good to know.
Yeah. Speaking of hairy assholes.
I'm right here. Yes.
I told you about my tweet. I tweeted something the other day. I didn't tell you the tweet, but I tweeted about how it was the second time I was trying. So when you're in the adult industry, I kind of go through phases. Like, I like to watch the production stuff. There's some really good stuff. And then every once in a while I get bored and I'll move to a different category. So I was in the amateur category.
Oh boy.
And twice at two separate occasions. The first one, it was being filmed. It was like this gangbang thing. And the camera goes down to get penis into vagina. And there is toilet paper wrapped up and curled, like in a little tiny twizzle.
A dingleberry.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
It was like a dingleberry toilet paper twizzled into this guy's ass hair. And it was there. So whoever was holding the camera, I don't know if it was some like homie that was like, fine, I'll fucking film this. And he just had his head turned the whole time, like, because he didn't want to look. I don't know. But the whole time I'm like, I just can't believe it.
Well, also, it's 2023. Why do you not have a bidet?
Yeah, everyone has a bidet.
Right?
Every man I know has one.
Well, yeah, because...
What? You have a bidet?
Of course.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I would, in an ideal world, if I could, I would install a full-on Japanese shower toilet, but no electrical outlet near the toilet.
Yeah, that's so crazy. So many dudes I know have those.
It's amazing.
Is it temperature controlled?
No, it's cold water up there.
Okay, yeah, because one of the guys I know has one where you can adjust the temperature.
That's like the full-on Japanese like shower toilet.
Yeah.
Like, those are amazing. It's like, oh, I can adjust the pressure, I can adjust the temperature, how it oscillates. Like,
I could do eucalyptus.
Right. It's absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, you have to power those. So
yeah, you have to plug it in.
Yeah, if you're renting, that's not really much of an issue.
Yeah. But the second video I saw was the worst. Same thing, amateur guy was getting filmed. He actually it was an amateur. I won't even say the name of the company. It was a company video. But this guy had shit crust on his asshole. Yeah. This was a company with a well-known performer, female. Yeah. I don't know why I thought it was amateur.
Because that's some Mickey Mouse bullshit right there.
That's some Mickey Mouse bullshit for sure. I'm like, why would you put that out there?
Well, why is his scene partner not being like, bro, baby wipes?
It was like another group thing too. It was all dudes. One really award-winning performer. She's amazing. But it was so gross.
Some PA should be like, baby wipes. Here you go.
Mm-hmm. No, he's like, job opening. I ain't saying shit about that shit.
Gross. I mean, you see a lot of gross shit on set. It's just how it is.
What's the grossest thing you've ever seen?
I mean, someone just like puking on a dick from deep throating. Like,
I've heard that happens often.
It does happen. I mean, it's just like, oh.
What do they do in that scenario? Do they just say, well, we'll just have to throw it in this category?
Depending on the site. Some sites are about that life. Some sites are just like, well, that's going to not make it in post.
What site is about that life?
Like facial abuse stuck.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're about that life. Like, I don't think I've ever actually watched any of that content because that doesn't turn me on. Like, watching someone get tortured, like face fucked tortured with the penis, just isn't my jam.
Yeah. It's not mine either.
From what you're describing, gangbangs are?
I don't know if it's necessarily gangbangs. Sometimes because I have ADD, so I like chaos in situations. So maybe like there's that element of it. I'm also, when I watch that stuff, it's usually with like Angela White where she's commanding the room.
I was totally going to joke when you made that about the very note. Well, we're like, oh, poor Angela. I was going to make that fucking joke.
You were going to say poor Angela?
Yeah.
Why?
The shitty butthole dude?
Oh, no, it wasn't Angela.
Okay, because that's what...
No, Angela would have stopped that shit and been like, you need to go fucking clean your asshole, dude.
That's where my mind went. It's like, oh, poor Angela.
No, it wasn't Angela. It wasn't Angela. No. It was someone else. But yeah, no, I like that stuff where it's like the girl's like in charge. I just watched one recently with Summer Vixen. Do you know who that is?
Not off the top of my head.
Not a lot of people know who she is, but I'll tell you what, this girl, I don't know how long she's been in, but she's a star. But I did a Girlfriends film with her and she licked my armpits. It was amazing. I never had a girl anyone ever lick my armpits.
Well, I'm not following her, but we will remedy that right now.
Do it. Yeah. She's also one of the few who embraces the natural bush. That's another thing I didn't know.
I'm going to just DM slide her and be like, Sarah told me to follow you.
Yeah, you should. But she's got like full bush. She's great.
You into that?
I wouldn't say it's like a preference for me. I can do a top bush. But if it's like everywhere, I would prefer it to be like trimmed. With a guy, though, it just has to be like, you got to groom.
I love how political that answer was.
Was it political?
Well, because it wasn't an enthusiastic yes or an enthusiastic no. So yes, that was a political answer.
Yeah. I had to think it through. I'm like, it's not like, because I feel like with people, it's either yes or no. Right?
Well,
absolutely.
Generally, if it's something you're turned on by, yeah.
It doesn't bother me. The thing that gets to me, though, is if I'm like exploring an area and I just have to pick hair and then it's in my throat, that's kind of where I have an issue. Or if it's just not being cleaned properly, then that's where I have an issue.
Once again, dudes, bidets.
Bidets. Absolutely. Yeah.
Invest. They're cheap.
Yeah, we don't want to see the dingleberry toilet paper on your assholes.
No.
I could tell how many plies were on that roll he used.
Was he using cheap toilet paper?
No, he was using at least 2 ply.
Well, at least, he's got some toilet paper money.
Yeah, I could read the logo, Charmin.
Oh.
No, I'm joking. It was like pretty twirled up.
I didn't know how much of an expert you were.
Of toilet paper?
Yeah.
I just know that saying, 1 ply, buy.
Except during the pandemic when it was whatever you could get.
That was desperate times.
It was. It absolutely fucking was.
I wonder how many people like what did they do when they couldn't?
I don't know. Fucking showered? You were stuck at home.
I was like, were they digging in their laundry baskets, just pulling out like the lost sock?
Oh,
the missing pair.
That's the thing. I've said this multiple times on air. Like, what the fuck, people? Why are you hoarding toilet paper? You're stuck at home. The shower is feet away. If you can't wipe your ass, get your ass up, shower your asshole.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to know something? I have a story actually about toilet paper.
Oh, God.
I had somebody stay at my place while I was out of town, and I had a pyramid stack of toilet paper on a shelf in the bathroom. I come back, everything's perfect. Okay, well, there's a couple of issues, but whatever. So I'm like in the bathroom cleaning up, and I noticed the shelf was bare. And they were there for like a few days. I'm like, did you really go through 5 rolls of toilet paper, or did you steal my toilet paper?
They treated you like you're a fucking hotel and like...
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, these are our little bottles now.
Yeah. I'm like, you stole my fucking toilet paper? Yeah, it was inspiration though. I'm going to add it into a pilot I'm writing.
So as someone who does rent out their space to traveling models and shit, I'm thinking about doing that with my spare room.
Oh God. Yeah.
Okay, you've sold me. I'm not doing it. That initial response right there.
No, like it's not bad. There's probably like 1 or 2 people that I would be okay with. It's a lot of work. But you are here so you can let people in and all that stuff. For me, it's like the whole place is yours.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
That's crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
There's no world.
Yeah.
There is no world. Like if I were to Airbnb a place, it would not be a place that is actually my home.
Yeah.
Like, I have too much shit that I do not want people just rooting through.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very like, I'm A-okay to open up my common spaces and all that shit. Obviously, I bring people in here to do this. I
plan on snooping, but go on.
Snoop away out here.
I'm joking.
Feel free.
I don't want to.
I'm not afraid of you finding out shit. But my room is my fucking room. Like it's childhood trauma. I don't want people in my fucking room.
Really? What do you got? Like clowns hanging around?
No, it's more like when I was a kid, it was the only place I could escape, like, bad situations. Was the only space that felt like it was fucking mine. And that is definitely still there as an adult.
So that's like your sacred space.
Pretty much.
Nice.
And like on the flip side, I'm very respectful of like, even when I'm living with other people, like even if I need to go into their room for something, it's like, I'm not entering there without their permission.
Do you have a sign on your door that says do not enter?
No.
Did you have one growing up?
No. It was just implied.
Yeah. The implication.
Yeah. I'm better about it now than I once was, but like definitely was just like, don't go in my fucking room without my fucking permission.
Yeah, that's just weird. You would never do that dating show. It was like in the early 2000s. Do you know what I'm talking about? The one where these people applied for a show and then like, I think it's Home Invaders or something, but they would go in and swoop into people's homes and kidnap them and put them in a bus. And then the person that was going to pick a date would go in and search their rooms, and they would use like a black light even to see if there was suspicious, marks or what's going on in their drawer.
No, I would not.
Closet. And then they'd pick the date based on the room.
Fuck no, I would not do that.
Yeah.
I am honestly, in retrospect, amazed that anyone fucked me in the 2000s. Like, my room was a goddamn nightmare.
Really?
Yeah. I definitely had a living girlfriend living on a futon on the floor.
The schizophrenic one?
No. The girl from Connecticut, actually.
That one?
Yeah.
And she was sleeping on a futon in the living room?
No, it was in my bedroom, but like the futon mattress was just on the floor. There was no frame. Like, the room was a fucking mess. And it was just like, I slept on a futon on the floor. And
well, she was from Connecticut, though, so
yeah.
Step up. I'm just kidding. Connecticut's actually really nice.
Parts of it.
Which part have you been to?
I was Hartford. That's where she was from.
Okay, that's a nice area.
Yeah, after we separated in Chicago, she moved back to Hartford, and then I went out there once to try to reconcile, and that didn't work.
So you went to Chicago and she stayed?
Well, I was really from Chicago. She moved to Chicago for me. That lasted about month and a half. Then she basically gave me an ultimatum, and I told her to fucking hit the bricks then.
So she was like, we've been here for a month. I fucking hate the pizza. I hate every goddamn thing. I hate that people live here and they're all from Michigan. What the fuck?
There's a lot of that.
We need to go back to...
Definitely problems in our relationship, and I may not have handled it super great. But like, my response to her ultimatum was like, she's like, if you don't course correct on this shit, like now, I'm going to go home. I'm like, you should just go home then. Yeah. And then when she went home, I'm like, oh, well, I may have fucked up here. And then I went out to fucking Connecticut to try to reconcile. And yeah, that didn't work out. Did not work out.
Some things just don't work out. I was thinking about this today about dating and stuff, and I was kind of laughing to myself. I feel like I'm a pretty put together person now. Maybe when I was younger, my ex cheated on me and stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, my ex cheated on me. Like, I've got all these like things, I have trust issues. But now I look at it and I'm like, yeah, my ex cheated on me. We were both really young. We started dating when we were 17 and, we were really young. And I thought about how that is. I'm like, I feel so stable minded. And then I thought of like guys that say that their exes are crazy and how interesting it would be to be on a date with a guy and his ex comes up, which God, I hope that doesn't ever happen. It's just so awkward. But instead of them being like, oh yeah, she was fucking crazy. Instead they're like, I fucked up.
Oh yeah, no.
But I've learned.
I mean, I think that's an older dude situation. Like, I definitely take ownership now of like a lot of romantic situations I have fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hell, I'll take ownership on that one. Like, yeah, I was not the best fucking boyfriend in the world. Did I handle that fucking her being like shit needs to change very well? Probably not.
Yeah.
But I was also 22 at the time.
Oh, yeah, you were young.
I was 22, overworked, stressed out, and just her and I were not like the best fit in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
I think we only stayed together as long as we did because like the first time we hooked up, the condom broke, and like we were trying to make sure that like we were not having a family.
So you were like trauma bonded?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That's rough.
That's most of my relationships, so
That's so hard. What brought you guys together? The condom broke.
Yeah, like kind of a random hookup, and
at least you used a condom though.
Oh, in those days, because I'm old enough where sex ed in the 90s taught you like if you have unprotected sex, you die.
Yeah. Yeah. Nowadays it's like, God. I don't know.
Oh, I don't very regularly use them now, but
yeah,
I got over that trauma.
Well, hopefully you're testing then.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And I have a vasectomy, so
that's good.
Speaking of doctors from Utah.
Yes. Right?
No, my vasectomy doctors did it in Vegas from Utah. It's like, yeah, much cheaper than doing it in LA.
For sure. If you go to China, they'll do it for free.
Yeah, but then the flight to China is more expensive than just doing it in the States.
That's a joke, by the way.
Aw.
I don't know if they do it for free. I just know that they, I think they may have changed the law, but when I was living there, I think you could buy a second kid. Like, you could buy the rights to birthing a second kid and legally having it documented. Otherwise, like a lot of these poor families would have kids undocumented. So you'd have like the first kid who had all of their papers and then all the other ones were undocumented. It was really fucking sad. But
yeah, proving that population control doesn't work so good.
It doesn't. And I think they're actually backtracking now and they're like, fuck, we're screwed. We need to.
Well, yeah, especially because I know they preferred male heirs. So it's like a lot of times they're getting rid of girls and it's like, oh, what happens when you have a bunch of horny dudes and no women?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty sad. I actually remember volunteering at the orphanage in China, and there was just a lot. It was like all special needs kids because they would have their one kid. And if it's a kid who's got cerebral palsy or something wrong with them, they didn't want it. They just wanted to, all right, we're going to try for a perfect one.
Well, yeah. Why would you want to keep the defective one?
Yeah, it's so sad.
Did you take any home?
No, I wanted to.
Why didn't you?
What am I going to do with them? I can't even have a turtle. I was researching turtles.
I mean,
I need a pet and I can't even have one of those.
A palsy kid and a turtle are about the same level of fucking maintenance, aren't they?
I don't know.
At least the palsy kid could get big and carry your groceries for you. Oh, no, that's a Down syndrome kid, not a palsy kid.
Yeah.
Palsy kid, you got to push places.
Yeah, I actually had a palsy friend. He was fucking amazing. Awesome. Everything was like smartest kid. He could play video games by moving his hand on like a little stick thing, and he could communicate, and he was just like the best fucking guy ever. And he actually just recently passed away. But yeah, it's gotta be a lot to have everything. Like, you don't know who that person is.
And that's got to be hell. Like,
well, on his Facebook, you would never know because he was able to type everything, and he was very into social media. And then when you met him, he couldn't speak, he couldn't move, he was fed through a tube, he wore diapers. Yeah.
He definitely needed a bidet.
Little Mikey, I know, he was the best. He was the fucking best.
How'd you know him?
So he is actually the little brother to one of my best friends in school. And my brother is friends with him as well. And I just reconnected with him, I think, last year or 2 years ago. And then months. Oh, yeah, we went to a strip club. We took him to a strip club for the first time. That was the last time I saw him. I looked over and he was getting another lap dance from this tattooed chick. And he's just in the corner like, that was the last time I saw him. And honestly, and I gave him a free subscription to my OnlyFans. Like I made it free for him forever. That was my birthday gift to him. And that was the last time I saw him. And in a way, I feel like that is exactly how he wants people to remember him, as a badass getting a lap dance. It was fucking awesome.
It is, but it's also kind of depressing.
It's depressing. Yes.
Just a little.
Leave it to me.
Did your OF content kill him, though?
You know, I hope not. I had another friend that subscribed and he ended up committing suicide. So maybe.
What an amazing advertisement for your OF content.
That was another situation. It was really fucking sad. But yeah, he messaged me on my OnlyFans the day that he,
You just didn't reply fast enough?
No, he had other stuff going on.
I'm assuming that.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that people are not just murdering themselves because you're not responding fast enough.
Oh God, I hope not. But yeah, he was actually one of my really good friends, and it's just one of those things where you just don't know how someone's doing. So,
yay!
COVID fucked people up.
Well, yeah, COVID fucked people up. Just American life in general these days. Like, oh, hey. Can I afford fucking groceries? Can I afford rent? I saw a random fucking article like there's something like 55,000 eviction notices in LA County right now.
Well, I have a theory that COVID brought a lot of people together online, and this OnlyFans boom. I know there's other platforms, so other people will move to other platforms, but I think a lot of people made a lot of money, and then they came out here to pursue things with that niche that they're in. And now that things are just naturally dying down because people are kind of tired of
people don't have stimulus money.
Well, they're just like also tired of like, it's all the same. You know, it's like you go on an account and it's the same cycle. Buy my video, spoil me, and it's like that's gonna die down. And then what?
For sure. And also, why the fuck move to LA for that? You can do that from Alabama. Right. Like, the only reason to fucking come here is to go shoot for fucking studios. And even if you're not doing that regularly, you can just fly out for that shit. They will, believe me, MindGeek, if you're big enough, will fucking fly you.
Yeah, for sure. It's all about just being smart with how you do things, right? Like just be genuine in everything that you're doing and you'll be just fine. But I just don't see this lucrative market of OF being around for much longer.
Oh, it won't. Sorry to the audience who's heard this rant before. Podcasting and OF are very parallel. There are some people that make a ton of fucking money at it and will continue to make a ton of fucking money at it. The average person doing it will not make shit and possibly will never make shit. The downside of doing OF is there is much more social stigma somehow with being an OF creator than there is with being a podcaster for the moment. Eventually people will be like, oh, you had a podcast? I'm not hiring you.
Yeah, that's lame though. It just means that you can talk to people. But with my
not necessarily. Oof.
Yeah, with my OnlyFans, it's different. It's a different vibe. Like it's kind of embarrassing. And I thought about this the other day. I'm like, I should probably not do this to people. But
Cause them to commit suicide?
No. God.
Yeah, you should not do that. I agree with you.
That was really fucking sad though. I looked, I'm like, oh my God, he messaged me that day. That was really sad. But I like to respond with a voice message because sometimes I'll just be driving somewhere. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to respond to this message. So I'll be talking and then I'll send a 7-minute audio message to like Jack Off 69. Because we talk about everything. Like we talk about life. I help people with their marriages. I talk to guys about date ideas. Like things that they can do with their wife because they'll bring up their wife. And I'm like, oh yeah, you should do this. I'm the worst.
What is your number one date idea? I want to hear.
My number one date idea, like first date, God. Honestly, I would say go to Dave & Buster's because you can get good food and then just kind of.
Whoa. Good food at Dave & Buster's? Really?
I like Dave & Buster's.
That doesn't make it good.
Yeah. Do you not like Dave & Buster's?
Oh, I do. I'm not saying the food is fucking good, though.
Yeah. I mean, people go there for the drinks and the games.
Right. Like, oh, there's wings. There's mozzarella sticks.
I was going to say, you can't go wrong with mozzarella sticks.
No. Deep fried and cheese, you can't go wrong.
Sounds fucking amazing.
Okay, we'll call the podcast. Let's go to D&B.
I have a friend who works there. Like,
you got an in? Oh, shit.
He doesn't necessarily like work there, but he runs, he does their commercials. He does marketing. He just does a lot of stuff for them. So he actually saw me at a Dave & Buster's in Salt Lake City, Utah. I posted about it and he goes, oh, you should have let me know. I could have totally hooked you up. And I'm like, okay, I'm not one to like ever ask for a hookup on anything ever.
You should.
But hypothetically, if I were with my friends and I was like, I've got a Dave & Buster's hookup, what would that entail? And so he told me like all these things that he could offer me, like, you know, discounted drinks, you know, tokens, whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. And then one of my good friends, Madison Sinclair, it was her birthday and she was going to Dave & Buster's. And I'm like, this is my chance. So I told him, I'm like, yeah, my friend's having a birthday. I'm going to be at the one in Hollywood, which is where he works. Like that's like kind of where he runs their social media. And he's like, okay, cool. And he's like, he sends me a picture of an envelope and he's like, all you have to do is just tell them that you're there, you know, and you got a name, you got an envelope with Sarah on it. And it had 2,000 tokens.
Holy shit.
I think it's like valued at $300 or $400.
Wow. Well, sort of. Because it's like, it's valued at that, but like the prices you buy with it are definitely not worth.
Yeah. I mean, I got some cool stuff, but still, I was like, here you go, girl. Here's 1,000 tokens. It was fun.
So it pays to be your friend. Got it.
It does. Yeah. But for like a first date, I would say like go to like Dave & Buster's because then you can kind of see, do they gravitate more towards the fighter games where they're in their own little box and they're shooting zombies? If that's what they're choosing to do, then you know that that's the future.
Of them ignoring you?
Yes. Or if they're choosing to go to a game where it's like teamwork and you're both working on a common goal together, that's cool. Or if they're super ticket driven, that means that they have a shopping problem or
maybe they're really ambitious.
I love the ticket games.
So you have a shopping problem?
No, not I used to. And then I moved to LA and I'm like, I can't afford to have a shopping problem. Yeah. But yeah, I would say Dave & Buster's or some sort of arcade would be the perfect first date.
I actually agree with you. I used to take people to fucking Button Mash over in Echo Park.
I've never heard of that.
It's over on Sunset.
Okay.
It's a good arcade bar.
Oh, I love arcade bars. Is there like you win tickets, you get a prize? Or
no, it's just arcade games and bar.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
You're like, can't feed my shopping addiction.
Yeah, if I can't buy junk, I'm not interested.
But there's beer and retro games. Like, I don't know.
They don't have a phone charger that you can win that probably dies within a week?
No.
Then I'm not interested.
Doesn't sell your personal information to China when you plug it in?
Is that what happens?
Maybe.
Makes sense. I just thought they missed me.
They might. They may be breaching the firewall just to get to you.
They're like, we got Chinese orphan kids that need you here. Come back.
With all the palsy.
Yes.
My other like unconventional first date that I did a bunch of times, I haven't done this in a while, is take girls to shooting ranges.
Oh. That's cool.
It's one of those things where, like, a lot of people I dated had never handled the firearm in their fucking life.
It makes you look cool.
Till they're better shots than me, but.
Yeah. How do they react to that as a first date?
I would say 75% successful, 25% not so much.
Do you think, has anyone canceled on you last minute with that date?
No.
Okay, that's cool. Because like for me, if I didn't know a guy or whatever and he was like, let's go to a shooting range, I'd be like, I'm going on a date with a guy I don't know who's got guns.
Isn't it better to know that off the bat, though?
True. I do have a Ben Verified account, so I look up everybody. I know your mom's name before I know much about you.
Did you go look me up before?
No, but if I could.
I'm sure you could.
Yeah.
I
don't think people realize how easy it is to learn something about someone as long as you have their phone number.
Oh, I know firsthand. I was a private investigator, so.
Yeah. But it also works against you because there was somebody that I knew who needed a background check. And I looked into this person, but it gave like this rap sheet that wasn't even theirs.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to go in and pay, I think it's like Truth Finder or something, and actually pay the money for a legit background check, which then needs the other person's approval with their social security number and their sign off on it.
Not necessarily.
Really? We gotta talk, man. I want to start looking into some shit. But yeah, I always look into people just to make sure.
Well, I'm honored you didn't spend the $12 to look into me.
Well, the $12 for Ben Verified? I told you I have a membership.
Oh, fine.
I look up everybody that I'm gonna go on a date with. I should have looked up you, but I'm like, oh, look at all my friends who are on this show. See,
Yeah.
I fell down that path.
Fell down the trust rabbit hole. Don't worry. Don't worry. The worst thing that's possibly going to happen to you here is I may talk you into doing a shot of Malort.
Oh God, what is that, whiskey?
No, it is Malort.
What is that? Well, don't talk me into it now.
Jepson's Malort.
I've never heard of this.
It's a Chicago liqueur.
Is it like a whiskey?
No.
Okay, because I hate whiskey and I will not drink it.
It is not whiskey.
Okay.
It is much worse.
Oh God. What's the percentage? I used to drink Stroh in Germany.
Oh, it's not very high.
Oh, it's 35% though. You gotta understand, in Utah, it's like 3.5%.
I know, which is wild because High West is up there and that's actually pretty good whiskey.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
One of the things I miss about flying through Salt Lake all the time was there is in the regional terminal downstairs, High West has a bar.
Oh, that's cool.
A lot of times, even if I wasn't flying regional, I'd fucking trek all the way over there.
Just to go get it.
Yep.
Wow. In Salt Lake, I'm trying to remember if they had a downstairs that was attached to a terminal.
It's in the regional terminal, like in C. So you go downstairs into C.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't do the.
And that's how I ended up in Montana, and Idaho was through that terminal. So
yeah, those little tiny planes, little CRJ 900s with maybe, or 200s with one flight attendant, 900 with two.
Yep.
I used to be a flight attendant for some of those smaller ones too.
I know you were a flight attendant. I just was a frequent flyer, so.
Yeah, I'm definitely a frequent flyer now.
Who's your miles with?
Delta.
High five on that shit.
Fuck yeah. Fucking love Delta, but they're fucking us over now with all these new rules. Like they've trimmed down a lot of the benefits.
I know.
It sucks.
It sucks that you can't buy a day pass to the fucking lounge anymore.
Really?
Yep.
See, I just get access to it, but I feel like that's going to be changing coming up.
Well, pre-pandemic, you could just buy a $50 day pass.
Yeah.
And last time I flew out of LAX post-pandemic, I'm like, oh, let me go get my day pass. And they're just like, we're only selling day passes if you have this level of Amex. I'm like,
yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
LAX doesn't have a bartender.
LAX? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's self-service.
At the Delta?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Are you sure about that?
Yeah, so it used to be before they moved to Terminal 3.
Uh-huh.
When they were still in 4 and 5, there was a bartender in the old lounge.
Yeah.
And then when they moved to 2 and 3, it became self-service.
I don't know, because I go there all the time. I have someone serve me. Are you talking about the one that's attached to 2 and it's like that little one?
I'm talking about the one that's upstairs.
Yes, that's that one. Yeah. I go to the other one.
These days, if I'm flying out of LAX, it's probably international. That's why I'm out of 3.
Nice.
I don't have much excuse to go places in the country anymore. So
where are you going international?
Last time was Japan, but
that's cool. I've never been there.
You should. It's on sale.
Always?
I mean, no, right now, like the yen is still very weak versus the dollar.
Is it cold though?
I mean,
Right now, isn't it going into winter?
I was there in November last year, November, December, and like was comfortable in a hoodie or a jacket like the whole time. For someone who's from Utah, you'll be fine.
Yeah, but that's the thing is I don't want to go anywhere cold because I'm just not.
50s is fine by me.
No, that's 50s during the day.
No, there's like 50s at night.
Oh,
I mean, it can get cold enough to snow there, but
let's check the weather
in Japan, like Tokyo weather now.
Is that where you went?
Yeah,
Tokyo.
Yes.
What were you doing in Tokyo?
2 podcasts and a lot of drinking.
Wow, was it your own podcast?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Sorry, audience that is painfully aware of the people I had on during.
Who was it?
Jake Edelstein, who is. Have you seen HBO's Tokyo Vice?
No.
So Tokyo Vice is a dramatization based on Jake's autobiography. Jake is an American expat who wrote for one of Japan's largest newspapers covering the crime beat for a number of years.
Oh.
So I got to sit down and actually talk to the real Jake Edelstein.
That's cool.
It was really a lot of fun. Like Jake's a lot of fun. Like he's a good dude.
And he speaks English. He's an expat.
He's an American expat, yeah.
Nice.
He's from Kansas. Or no, he's from Missouri, sorry.
Yeah, if I was from Missouri, I'd also be an expat, so.
Fair. And then I also interviewed the owner and one of the comedians at the One Western Style Comedy Club in Tokyo.
Oh.
So.
That's cool.
Yeah. I just stumbled into the Tokyo Comedy Bar one night and then was like bullshitting with them over drinks. I'm like, hey, I do a podcast. I got my gear with me. You want to do it while I'm here?
Hell yeah. That's how I was recording my shit back when I had one. I was like, well, I got my podcast equipment. I got a hotel room and I just like set it up on an ironing board.
Been there, done that.
Yes. Just got to keep it away from the skinny part so it doesn't fall.
I guess you have to. So why aren't you doing your fucking travel podcast anymore?
Because I just didn't have time. As we were talking about before recording, it's just a lot. A podcast is a full-time job if you want to keep it going.
I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah. You got a lot. Like you have your job and then this is a full-time job. And I think I was also my podcast, it was kind of a struggle because it was also a lot of my listeners were LDS or Mormon. And it's not that I didn't want to talk about these topics. I was just kind of like, I needed to create separation. So I ended on a good note. I didn't even really announce that I ended. I just kind of stopped. And I left people wanting, it's like if you had your favorite show and it just stopped and you're like, what happened to the show? So people still ask me about it. And then, I don't know. I think if I were to come back with it, it would be more of like an improv style thing where we just fucking make up stories and see where it goes. Just fun shit.
You should fucking do it.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm hoping I'm busy. Well, because, I do the improv school. I'm also in an improv troupe and we rehearse during the week and perform every other weekend. And I'm also starting film school in February. So it's just like a lot on top of work. But
what are you looking to do in film school?
So I actually want to do the screenwriting program, but it's a bachelor's program and you have to have your associates. So I was in college, but I didn't finish. I left and became a flight attendant. But I dropped everything. So I just need to finish my associates. So I am going to the film school, doing the science of film associates. That's what I'm working on. And then I'm going to do the bachelor's of screenwriting.
Nice. Just out of curiosity, why do you feel you need a degree in it?
That's the thing. I know a lot of people would just think like, oh, you don't need a degree in this. Yes, that's very true. I love learning as much as I possibly can. And if I were to try to figure this all out on my own, it would take forever. It would take longer than what school would. And I'm also the kind of person who I just like learning. Like, I just want structure with that.
Fair.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's just a lot to learn. And with how I am, if I don't have a requirement, like you have to be in class on this day and do this, this, and this. If I don't have somebody like, if they're not organizing the things that I need to learn, I'm likely to get distracted.
No, I know that pain all too well.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very deadline driven. I totally get that.
You have to give me a deadline. If you do not give me a deadline, then I am going to forget.
I know that pain all too well.
Mm-hmm.
It's unless it's something I'm hyper excited about. It's definitely some ADHD brain.
Adult Empire messaged me about a week ago, and they're like, "Hey, we would love to put you in. We'd love to do a little interview with you." I'm like, "Cool, yeah, go ahead and email me the questions." And they sent me all these like great questions, and I saw them like, "Okay, awesome, I'll get back to you." And then days go by, and then they hit me up on Twitter again, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, thank you." And all this stuff is going on. And then I was going through my email last night and I see that and I'm like, fuck. So then I sat there and just did it. I was like, oh shit. Like I completely forgot.
Note to self. Next time I book you for the show, I'm just going to tell you when to show up.
Yeah.
For a little inside baseball, this is like the 4th or 5th attempt we've made to...
Yeah, what? It was like just stuff, work.
Work and random shit. Like,
yeah.
I'm just giving you a hard time. Like,
Yeah, for sure. No, definitely. It's kind of hard though, because it's like in this industry, it's so hard to be reliable because it's like if you have $1,000 shoot opportunity to be like, oh yeah, I don't know. But some people take it very personally.
I've been around way too long to fucking be upset about like, oh my God. The only time I'm ever going to be upset about that shit is if someone like day of.
Oh, yes.
Or like was supposed to fucking be here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have a shoot. Like, you didn't know about that shit?
Yeah, you just found out about that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or I had someone recently who I went to confirm, like, I hadn't heard shit. It had been locked down for a couple of weeks. I hadn't heard shit. I went to her. I'm like, so do you have the address? I'll see you. And I got responded with like, lol, what?
What?
And I'm like, cool.
Oh, God, what an insult. I hate lol. I don't know what it is.
I turned around and like sent screenshots of like, this is your publicist booking you, by the way.
She has a publicist.
45 minutes after she was supposed to be here, it was like, oh my God, I could be there now. I'm like, I'm not available.
Yeah, at that point, the mood's just not there.
Yeah, like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah. God,
like,
people are fucking...
And it's just this biz. Like, I understand shit happens. I won a whole string on Twitter about it recently where a bunch of people were talking about like their do's and don'ts about like if people flake on them with content trades and shit like that. I'm like, here's my deal. I will pretty much accept any excuse on the first flaking for doing this podcast, unless it's just blatantly disrespectful. Because I had someone, this got to be a couple of years ago at this point, be like, I just woke up from a nap. I'm sorry. I'm not going to make it.
Wow.
I'm like, yeah, you're never getting booked again.
Yeah.
But for the most part, as long as it's somewhat reasonable, give me a reasonable lie. I'll let it slide. Something. Besides, I just woke up from a nap.
Yeah.
And even if it was, I just woke up from a nap and I'm on my way, no big deal. Like, you were an hour late tonight. I didn't give a fuck. It's just like, whatever. Like,
yeah.
That sort of shit happens. Real life fucking happens.
Yeah.
But if you do it twice, I'm just never booking you again. That's it.
Yeah. God, people are so rude.
Well, the problem is the way they look at podcasts, especially, is just like, well, I'm not being paid to be there.
This is my first podcast.
Oh my God.
Well, I had my own and then I was a co-host of another one, but this is my first podcast as a guest.
Oh my God. I'm so honored.
I know. I'm like, come on, book me. Or like,
I've tried like 4 or 5 times.
A part of me wants to like scroll through and see what my reasonings were.
It was generally other shoots. And like, let
me see.
There was definitely one where I canceled on you.
Fuck you. Just kidding.
I had shit come up too, woman.
I'm joking.
I have other things. I don't just live here for, oh my God, is Sarah Taylor going to bless me with her presence?
Let's see. Fully booked for April, open May. May's pretty open. Monday, Tuesday. Sorry, I'm going to like dox myself. This
You're gonna dox
month
us
of
both.
May. Let's see. The 8th is open. My schedule is pretty open after the 14th. Except the
Wow,
16th.
she's just telling everyone how
Can we do the
readily available I am.
24th? I'm in improv school. 24th works. 5 works for me. Let's see. Where did I cancel? I sent you a voice note. I want to play that.
It's fine.
I know, but now I want to know. Do you want to know what happened though? I'm looking at the dates and this was all around, it was right after May when shit went crazy. That's when things were just like insane. I just moved, left my previous agency. It was, yeah.
Obviously, sir, if I had a problem with it, you wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Oh yeah. See, I just got booked to shoot in Vegas on the 26th. Would October 1st work? Here we are.
Yeah.
Would October 3rd work? Everything's good.
Yeah, no, it's fine. 100%. If I had a problem, you would not be sitting here right now.
I wouldn't. I try not to be a problem.
But I'm saying, I'm sure most of these people are not trying to be a problem. I'm sure most of these people
just don't think.
Right. It's not a place of malice, but it's one of those things where like, I'm also not looking to book people that aren't excited to fucking be here. I had a recent guest who's like, "Oh, let me talk to my friend. I think she'd be great for the show. I'm gonna, play her my episode, and then I'm gonna, try to convince her to come do the show." I'm also
Convince her?
And I'm like, "Don't bother."
Yeah, you don't need to convince anyone.
Right. Like if you have to hard sell someone to come do this show, I don't want them.
For sure.
And that's the other part of the policy that I didn't mention on Twitter is like, I asked people to do the show twice. Like if you give me like, yeah, I'm interested, and then kind of don't get back to me, I'll ask again. If you don't get back to me after that, I never bother you again about it.
Yeah.
With the one exception of drunk texting Bert Kreischer once. But
oh, you asked Bert?
Bert's done the show.
Oh, he has?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I didn't even know that. And I said yes. That's cool.
Yeah, and not to name drop Bert Kreischer, but Bert did the show.
Bert Kreischer.
He did the show at LA Podfest in 2017.
That's cool.
And got Bert's number. Like we talked about doing it. He never got back to me. Ran into him at the store. I'm like, yo, come do the show. He's like, text me. I'm like, all right.
The store as in the comedy store. Right. Okay.
Text him. Didn't get back to me. Some of my friends ran into him drunk at a bar and told him to come do the show. And Bert drunkenly said, yeah, I'd love to. So I saw him drunk. I was drunk. Saw him drunk texting at like 2 o'clock in the morning. So I texted him like, hey, man, it's Matt Slayer. And he got back to me. He's like, yeah, let's set it up. And it just never happened. And that is the one exception I've made to the ask twice rule.
Yeah. I'll have to go back and listen to that episode. I don't know the guy personally at all. He seems like he's pretty popular. So
at this point, like I have no expectation of having him back on the show. Like 6 years ago, he was popular, but he wasn't like playing fucking arenas and stadiums popular.
Yeah. Speaking of the Comedy Store, I emailed them because I wanted a job.
Oh, yeah. I was supposed to ask somebody about that shit.
Well, no, it's fine. They never got back to me.
Right. But I was going to ask my friend about that.
I just want to go there and like serve drinks, just like be in the environment, not to like get on stage, but I feel like just to serve drinks, make tips, just like be around funny people.
Possibly get sexually harassed by them.
Oh, really? Nice.
Oh, you don't think the wait staff?
Oh, I'm sure they do. I'm fine. Trust me. I can hold my own. But I emailed them and I never heard back. And then someone's like, you should just go in and ask. And I'm like, yeah, but the rejection is so disappointing.
Thank you for reminding me. I will text my buddy.
No pressure.
I told you when you said that, I'm like, oh yeah, let me text my friend. And then I forgot.
Do you have a friend that works in hiring?
Connected people, yeah.
Okay. I'm just like, I'm in school, so it would be a fun way to just like be around more comedy and like work and stuff. And I know a lot of girls are just, or a lot of people, they just find other jobs within sex work. That's just not me. Like I have to have balance in all things.
Oh my God, you have to be a real person besides.
I have to have a life, you know?
How dare you, Sarah?
I know.
Dare you?
I'm like, God, I wish I could just fill my time with sexting and all this stuff. And don't get me wrong, I do enjoy that stuff too. And when I'm on, I'm on. When that light comes on with Sex Panther, know that I'm on. And I'm like, let's talk. But I can't be fake. Like, not that people are fake. I can't speak for other people, but it's just like, I don't want it to feel like a job for me.
Well, and that's the problem. It is a job.
But it does, I don't want it to feel that way.
Well, good on you, because fuck, I love doing this, and it definitely still feels like a fucking job sometimes.
Yeah, When I walk on set, though, it's like I'll go on to set and maybe I've done like a lot of girl scenes. And if I'm working with a guy, it's like that's the first dick I've had in weeks.
Well, that's sad.
I know.
Why aren't you out here like experiencing like civilian dick?
I'm not.
I am just not is not a good reason.
I know. I just think I'm busy. I'm preoccupied.
You have other priorities?
Well, school, rehearsals for other things. I'm just besides, I'm not super into the hookup culture.
So,
and I know it, I'm as someone who does porn, I'm immediately disqualified from being I'm just saying from like modern day outsider looking in, a lot of people would think, oh, well, you do porn. So.
You have too many bodies on you.
Yeah, I'm like,
ooh, those fucking gross motherfuckers.
But for me, it's just like I've had my moments, but for the most part, I'm just not into the hookup culture.
Well, then go on an actual date to Dave and Buster's, goddammit.
Yeah, but then I could also get murdered.
You could get murdered going anywhere.
Did you hear about those models that got murdered? Like,
yeah, downtown?
Yeah, and then there's one that's missing. There's another woman that's missing.
I'm sure she's dead.
From like, I think she went missing like in June or something. She co-wrote Katy Perry's, like one of Katy Perry's songs, and she's just been missing.
But you can't live your life in fucking fear.
Well, I'm not doing that. That's just my excuse.
Well, it's a bad excuse.
I mean, it's legitimate.
It's not.
Sort of.
You could be hit by a fucking car leaving here and die.
Yeah.
That's no reason not to live your fucking life.
But the thing is like, what's the motive for dating, right? For dating apps? Because and I made a post about this where I was talking about like going on Tinder, and it's just, people just want to fuck. And these guys, they just want to fuck you. And then they find out that you do adult film, and then they want to fuck you like porn stars. And you're like, nobody wants that personal life to begin with. And you're doing it so badly.
Well, yeah, that's fucking horrible. Like, nobody wants you opening up to the camera in real life.
Well, they're not even doing it. It's the jackhammer. That's
not fun for anybody.
No.
Hell.
I won't even fake it. I just lay there and stare at him. And I tell him to slow down.
See, that's fucked. Like, when I've been intimate with performers, like when they're opening up for invisible cameras, like, what are you doing?
Opening up for invisible cameras. Well, not if you're if you're at the Motley Manor. Justify it. That's justified.
I have never stepped foot in the Motley Manor. Never stepped foot.
Well, guess what? No guy was ever allowed to step foot in any of the rooms in the Motley Manor. That was a rule. So
at the time when the Motley was throwing all those parties, I'm just like, why am I never invited to these fucking things? And in retrospect, glad I never did.
Yeah, it was a little weird, but
yeah, like I've definitely been involved with people, and it's just like, why are you in a wide straddle like reverse cowgirl right now? Like,
what you doing over there?
Like, girl, there is.
Should I be checking my asshole for toilet paper right now?
Got a bidet. I know I'm good, but it's just. There's no camera here, girl. Like, does this legitimately feel good for you? Like,
yeah, I actually truly do enjoy my sex life.
Good.
I really, really, really do. So when I do have that outside of work as well, like it's good. And then when I have it on set, it's good. But that's the thing is Is it really always good on set? Honestly, I haven't really had any bad experiences. There's one guy, I would almost call him like not a kid, but he was like 19 years old. And he came within 60 seconds. That's Hollywood.
Yep.
He came in within 60 seconds of the opening blowjob. And then
stop doing such good work.
I'm like, I feel flattered right now, but also
like you just extended our day by 4 hours.
But I caught it though, because I saw it happening and I like flung my boobs around and caught it like it was the finishing shot. And then all we had to do was just try to make it through 45 minutes of different sex positions that we had done still shots for. And, the director's like, are you good? And he's like, oh yeah, I'm totally good. I can get it back up. I can pop twice. And no, I was his mom's friend, actually. So I was going in as the dominant older female type. And then he was the, I don't know kind of type. And then in order for him to be able to do things and get it up, he had to take on the dominant role. So in that scene, I can't watch it. Like the kid's on my no list. He's the only one. But yeah, he had to go from like this role to this other role, and he needed to be very dominant, masculine. He's just this little skinny, twerpy kid. And it was just...
You embarrassed him.
But you know what's crazy is that scene came out and everybody loved it. And I'm like, a lot of it was fake.
It's acting.
Well, no, but it was fake as in like I was grinding on nothing. Like it was like a flaccid thing.
Yeah, it's acting.
Yeah. That's the only one though. Everyone else I've had a great time with. It's always fun.
You're only a year in.
One of my favorite guys to work with is Jimmy Michaels. Do you know who that is?
I do not.
He looks like he's probably like 18 or 19. Like he looks really young. I think he's 25. And it's just so funny because he looks so young, like 19, and he fucks you like he's 45. Just like licks the hand, slaps your ass. But he's just so fun. Like I love working with people that are just fun to be around. Yeah.
But back to real life. Why are you not going to get actual fucking...
Because I'm not, like,
Do you not crave companionship? Like...
No, it's not that.
Besides the fear of being murdered, obviously.
Right. I think just for me, like... I don't know. It's not that I fear... I definitely like companionship. I think here in LA, I'm finding myself... meeting a lot of narcissists, but I also feel
in this town, no.
I also don't like situationships. But that's the other thing is I'm not looking necessarily for a relationship. I just don't like, it's either they latch on and consume my world.
No one's got time for that.
Some people do.
Not in this town. Not if you're working.
It's the Casanova lying. Like it's the, oh yeah, you're the only one. And also because a lot of guys don't want to wear condoms. And I'm like, this is my job. And they kind of, it's almost like they abuse knowing that you're testing. So they think that they're fine, but then they also love the safety net of if they have an STD, it's got to be from you because you're the one who's doing this thing.
Yeah, that's not how that works.
Yeah, there was one guy I was seeing. It turns out he was fucking other girls in my industry, and he'd never used condoms, but he told me that he was not fucking anybody, and that was a lie.
Well, that's a problem. Like, no matter if you're a civilian, performer, whoever, the minute you violate trust, that's a problem.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's just like, for me, I have my moments, but for the most part, I'm just career focused. I just want to write and go to school, and then I'm excited when I'm on set.
Yeah, but you got to have stuff down.
I masturbate a lot.
Well, good on you.
I have a really good vibrator. I watch a lot of porn.
I know.
I should be one of the AVN judges.
I mean, why aren't you?
I don't know because I'm a performer.
Fair.
Yeah.
Got to move behind the camera.
Trust me, I can be very unbiased. Do they have any female AVN judges?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, cool.
Definitely.
So you're saying there's a chance because I could totally do it.
Well, you know how the judging's done, right?
No, I know nothing.
Oh, yeah, it's done by committee.
Yeah.
So it's a whole lot of people. My former roommate used to vote on the AVNs.
Nice.
Really fucking frustrating that I did not win when he was still living here. And
wow.
You fucking vote on these. I didn't fucking win. Are you fucking kidding me?
So that's the kind of people who are voting.
No, not that shitbag roommate.
Okay,
No. My old roommate.
Got it.
My old roommate, this used to be a very porno household. My former roommate used to be the managing editor of AVN. So
nice. Yeah, that's cool.
It was until award season when we'd have boxes of DVDs here. I used to have to give people boxes of fucking porn. Like, here, take this. Here's a gift for doing the show. Take this box of fucking AVN nominations and get it out of my house.
Let me ask you this. So I just submitted nominations, and one of the most frustrating parts of it for me was having to sign up for accounts to create logins and passwords. Why?
So people don't use bots to fucking flood.
I don't understand how, these people already they should have a master login. Do you know my credit card company flagged me? They were like, you signed up for like 10 porn sites in a night. I was signing up for sites, and then my card wouldn't let me anymore.
Well, why are these producers not giving you a login?
I asked.
That's unreal.
I know. But the thing is, it's just like, I know somebody has a login.
They do.
Voting. So why did I spend hundreds of dollars to create one?
You shouldn't have to.
I know.
You shouldn't have to.
I was trying to find a way around it, but you just said DVDs.
Oh yeah, no, they very much sent out fucking physical media. That
you had to plug it in and watch it.
I mean, I didn't. I have never voted.
Did they actually do that?
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of porn. How do they watch it? Do they just they don't jerk off to it?
They're just watching it. So the crazy thing is, it's not this. They don't just select a winner. Like if say you're voting on best gangbang, you watch everything in the category and then you rate each one like 1 to 10. As the overall who has the most points ends up being the winner. Like they actually have a breakdown of who got every place all the way down.
Wow.
They just don't publicize it.
That's really cool though. Yeah, I feel like for me, I did have a lot of stuff to nominate. We'll see what happens, but
hey, as long as you got the prenoms in, which just puts you further ahead than a lot of people.
Yeah, I definitely got my prenoms in for sure.
Because a lot of people 100% rely on either the company putting it in or their publicist or their agent.
Yeah.
They don't fucking handle that shit themselves.
No, I do everything myself. I don't have a publicist. I can't afford that shit, unfortunately.
In time.
It's like $1,000 a month for a publicist.
Depends on the publicist, but yeah.
Yeah.
500 to 1,000.
Yeah. No thanks right now.
And it's one of those things where like, are you going to get
a job at the comedy store? Maybe.
Making minimum wage and tips.
Just working here to pay my porn publicist.
Probably shouldn't talk shit about the publicists. I work with a lot of them, but
yeah, they're great. They're amazing.
But
I just can't afford you guys.
But it's one of those things like, is it really going to be worth it? Is it worth $500 a month to get press releases in AVN, XBiz, and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Because I hate to break it to you, you can put those out yourself.
Oh, I know. I know.
What's stopping you from doing it?
I do it.
Then what do you need a publicist for?
I don't.
Then why are you saying they're so great?
Because they are. They make people's lives easier.
I guess. Please don't take this personally.
Who am I to take a job from somebody else? And I know a lot of people who are very they just don't want to deal with it.
Well,
For me, do I want to do it? No. But in a way, what's the difference between me going on social media, typing up a whole thing? Because I do that too. Like I promote my scenes with the companies. If you look at my Twitter, what do I promote? Do I promote OnlyFans content? No. I very rarely will promote my OnlyFans, but I always promote the companies because when I got into this, I didn't get into this to be an OnlyFans creator. I got into this so I could go into more acting stuff and fun stuff for me. I needed that separation. OnlyFans is a full-time job.
It is. And you'll get much better marketing out of company work anyways.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have to worry about anything. I'm just although I will say there's people that I've talked to, we want to work together and we're just fuck it, we're going to do it ourselves. Or I've come up with different scenarios, scripts that I put together. And I'm do I give this to a company because it's so fucking good? Or do I just hire out someone to film
Just hire out.
That's what I'm thinking. I think I'm going to just...
What's the hesitation on it?
There's really no hesitation. It's money. You got to pay for your location, pay for your camera, pay for the editing.
Well, ideally you pay for a shooter who comes with a camera.
Right, exactly. That's what I meant. But it's just there's a lot of moving pieces to certain things. And
yeah, but if you take a collection between everyone who's involved,
take a collection.
Well, okay.
Oh yeah, performers pay for everyone.
Pay for everyone. Have your fucking contract signed where this can be distributed, how it's going to be distributed. it's not that much of a cost in the grand scheme of things.
Well, some guys are actually going and selling it to Team Skeet or other companies.
Right. Well, that's why you have in the contract that they can't do that.
That's a new thing that's happening. But I just don't do a lot of the content trade and stuff. But I might start doing my own shit.
Right. Okay. Do your own shit.
Yeah.
Or do content trades where it's very clearly spelled out where it can be distributed, how it can be distributed, how money's being distributed. And so you have legal recourse if someone's like, I sold that to Team Skeet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the fuck you did, motherfucker. We have a contract.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, the thing is it's going to start changing. A lot of people are going to start to realize that all this content they've made needs to go somewhere.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true. OnlyFans may or may not be it for some people.
ManyVids is really good, though. Right?
Yes and no.
There's a no part to that.
Well, and this may have changed over the years. Historically, ManyVid's actual interface as a website has sucked.
Yeah. Well, yes.
And I know some people that got gigs as just running people's ManyVids because they could comprehend it and the models couldn't.
Yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass.
Right. Like, I don't understand how a platform that's been around forever is still so obtuse to fucking
you
use.
just buy clips, you know?
Yeah.
Just like, oh, can buy this video for $12. Sweet.
Yeah, plenty of people have made a lot of fucking money from it, but just why would you not make your platform more user-friendly at this point?
You know what I proposed? So I wanted to do this big group thing, and I thought it was awesome. I'm like, yeah, this is so great. And I wanted to do a pre-release where everybody, like, we maybe took it to a ManyVids and just pulled a pre-release audience from everybody to this one thing and then split the profit between everybody and then move it to our individual sites. Nobody liked that idea.
Why not?
I don't know.
I think you're working with small-minded motherfuckers.
Well, and then I was like, and then any money that's brought to this initial pre-release platform and it's being collected beyond what's on our individual platforms, we just continually split it. Because the way that I see it, there's no benefit if you're doing content with a guy who's got a free page and then selling the video for $5.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's another reason why I'm just like, I would rather just do my own thing solo with my people. Because it's like, yeah.
If you have the budget to do it, do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the only reason to bring other people involved is more investors.
Yeah, I really think more people should look into the whole like profit sharing side of things.
I agree. The problem is a lot of motherfuckers do know this as well as I do. Backstab each other, fucking do give it away to some dude who basically gives it away. Because that dude wasn't really trying to make money from it. He was just trying to fuck you. And
oh yeah, for sure. That's They just, oh, want to do content trade? I actually started to tell them, why don't you just take me out to fucking dinner? Like, let's just go get a drink and like hang out and get to know each other.
Let's go to Dave & Buster's, damn it.
Yeah, fucking take me to Dave & Buster's. I can play the Jurassic Park game with the little car. It's my game.
Good to know.
Really
the audience now knows.
Yeah, that's my game. I will sit there. That's my game with the car. And then I always go to the Big Fish. It's cool. Those are the only two.
The only two?
Mm-hmm.
Not throwing down on no Street Fighter?
No. I don't even know what that is.
You don't know what Street Fighter is?
Really? I mean, I know enough. Yeah, but no.
Like, you've been alive for more than 5 minutes. You have to know what Street Fighter is.
Buster's is all about the fucking tickets, okay?
Fair. I know. Feed your shopping addiction.
Right. It's like if you want to play video games for shooters, just stay home. Why are people spending money to play a game where they get nothing out of it when they can just play it?
Entertainment.
But you could be in your couch.
Yeah. Then why drink at bars?
Get a drink. Play a game that gets you tickets.
But people go to fucking bars. You could drink at home for much cheaper.
True, but if you get enough tickets, you can get a Pickle Rick. I think it's like 9,000 tickets.
Or I could just order one on the fucking internet.
True, but like it's more fun if you play basketball with it. Like
not if you're really bad at basketball.
Well, then that's where the Jurassic Park game comes in.
Okay.
Or the big fish.
Okay. I'm just saying, people find different entertainment in different things.
I'm just there for the tokens and tickets.
So do you actually gamble if you ever go to Vegas?
Oh, fuck no. I'm like, my girl math is like, that's actual money I'm losing.
Right. Or actually winning.
You know what's funny is I was playing blackjack on one of those machines, and I think I put like $5 in, and then I won $36, and I was like, holy shit. So I took it out, and that was it.
Good move.
Yeah.
Good fucking
I feel
move.
like I did good.
As you should.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Because most people put it right the fuck back in.
And then they lose it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way I gamble is the way I look at it is there's no other fucking form of entertainment where I could possibly like play for free. So the moment I break even, I cash out.
Yeah. What's the most you've ever won at a table?
A couple grand.
How much did you put in?
A couple hundred.
Nice.
Like, God, it has to be like 2006 when I learned how to play craps.
Yeah.
I maybe just put in a couple hundred and won a couple grand over the course of the weekend.
What did you do with the money?
Paid for the vacation.
Nice.
We went to, me and my friends went to Del Monaco, which is Emeril Lagasse's steakhouse in the Venetian.
Uh-huh.
Like fucking one of the best meals I've ever had. That's where a fair amount of those winnings went.
Have you ever been to Pahrump?
I have not. I know where it is.
Yeah, I've actually got friends that work there. Wait.
Oh, the brothels?
Cherise
Yeah, Cherise.
is in Pahrump, right? Yeah, I've got some friends who work there.
I've never been out to the brothels. It's just not really like my jam.
Yeah, I mean, the way that I see it, everybody needs love.
Oh no, I'm not knocking it.
Yeah, but I get it. You would rather do the whole like date, maybe like.
Yeah, like the trend. There's just something in the back of my head that like the transactional nature of it just doesn't jive for me.
Yeah.
Like it's just one of those things where like I could potentially see like going in on like a GFE, some shit like, but like I'm gonna drive to the brothel and all these girls are gonna line up and I'm gonna be that one. Like that just it doesn't seem like it. I'm gonna spend a bunch of money on just a fucking orgasm. Like
Yeah.
it just doesn't.
Yeah, because then like that feeling when you leave and you're just kind of like, and someone else comes in and picks the same girl like as you're leaving.
Oh, I mean, I don't give a fuck about that.
But yeah, I mean,
it's just the transactional nature of it. It's just like I've had some questionable sex in my life, but it was just like,
you dated a schizophrenic girl, so
she was really hot.
Yeah, I bet. I want to see a picture.
I'll have to find a picture from back in the day, but well, I hope she doesn't hear this.
Cut.
I'll leave it in. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's just like the feeling of like it just being a transaction just isn't appealing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be lied to. I want to be. Someone wants me.
I mean, they probably do lie to you.
I need to believe the lie.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you should try sugar babies then.
Yeah, do you think I got sugar baby money? Fuck.
My dad married his sugar baby. She was a stripper.
Oh, good on him.
Mm-hmm. She's fucking crazy. But yes.
I am not in a sugar baby tax bracket.
Yeah.
Please subscribe to the YouTube and get me a lot more ad revenue.
Go.
And then maybe I'll be in a sugar baby tax.
Try Patreon.
I have a Patreon.
Oh, yeah.
I make some money there too.
Yeah.
But I am definitely not in sugar baby tax bracket. No matter what. Like, especially Hollywood sugar baby tax bracket.
Well, then that's when you start going to other countries. That's why these guys do that, right?
I definitely had a girl in Colombia like try to like latch on.
Well, isn't it crazy? Have you ever seen that show, 90 Day Fiance?
I've heard about it. I've never actually watched
These
it.
guys will be in the other country like a baller, just freaking like buying goats for the family. Like, oh yeah, everything's good. Oh. And then they finally get the girl back to the US and then they come in and it's like a roach motel that she's walking into.
Still better than her last life.
Exactly. So she's like, okay, this is nice. I have a roof.
Yeah, but it's, once again, like, I'm not just looking to take home a living sex doll.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to actually have someone that I enjoy spending fucking time with. Like, I have zero problems being single. I have zero problems spending time with myself. So if I'm going to bother to spend the fucking time with you, I better enjoy your fucking company and not just your holes.
Do you have a sex doll?
No. I don't even have a fleshlight.
You know who, that's a shame. You should try the Kazumi one. I heard that one's great. From her, she said it was great.
Well, of course, she probably gets a kickback on it.
No, Kazumi honestly could, like, she doesn't need that kind of money, but she gets a lot of good reviews. People tattoo her name on their body, like.
That's so wild to me.
I know. I watched it happen. I was like, I almost got one.
Why didn't you?
I think I was tired and I wanted to go home, and also I don't know where I would put it.
On your butt cheek, obviously.
Yeah, but I don't know if I could like get away with that.
Why not? It's your butt. It's there.
But yeah, because my butt's not on the internet. If I were to get a Kazumi tattoo, though, for real, I'd probably get one like behind my ear.
All right,
I think that would be cool. Kazumi, if you're watching this, I'm gonna get a tattoo of you behind my ear.
We're gonna hold you to that.
Yeah.
I actually should probably reach out to Kazumi and have her on it.
Oh God, she would be the best. She's fucking amazing.
We follow each other on the socials.
That girl's like, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder to myself, I'm like, am I actually talking to you on your Instagram right now, or am I talking to someone else? But then I remember that she doesn't have anyone managing her shit, which is amazing. But she's pretty on it. I was gonna say with a sex doll, do you know who Gustavo Turner is?
Of course, I know Gustavo.
Yeah, he did this whole review on a Britney sex doll, I think back in May. And I read...
Like Britney Spears?
Yes. It's fucking hilarious, though. This company sent him, I think it was like, I could be wrong, but maybe like a $12,000 sex doll. And they wanted him to write a review on it. And he was like, fine, I'll do it. As long as I can review it with quotes from Britney Spears songs.
The one problem that no one seems to gather with like fleshlights, sex dolls, all that shit is clean up afterwards.
After?
Yeah, when you finish inside it.
You have to.
Right, that's gross.
Yeah.
Like that is way too much effort that I want to put into my fucking orgasms.
Yeah. I'm trying to find it because like.
I barely want to give my partner a towel after I come.
Yeah, you got to go and like throw a towel on a sex doll and she's like, doesn't even fucking respond. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, I'm definitely cream pieing.
Yeah.
But then you have to like clean the cavity.
Yeah. I'm texting him to ask him for the review. Can you? It's so funny though.
But at the end of the day, like, I just don't want to fucking deal with that kind of cleanup. I would rather just, get the poison out, dispose of it, and go about my fucking day.
Yeah. I also heard you're not supposed to use water-based lube. Or silicone.
Yeah, on toys, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless they're glass toys.
Yeah. For someone who doesn't have a fleshlight or a sex doll.
Who's been in this industry for over a decade.
That's true, I guess.
I've been around. I pick up fucking knowledge, and I just...
So, you've been around. Would you say that there is a significant difference between now and 12 years ago?
100%.
What's that biggest difference?
Oh, there's a lot of them. So when I first got in, sorry to the audience who may have heard this shit before, but when I first got in, like, contract girls, like, that was the goal. Mm-hmm. People wanted to be a wicked contract girl, a vivid contract girl. That was everyone's fucking goal. People were competing for box covers. You could 100% make a really good living just doing studio work.
Mm-hmm.
This is at the beginnings of the hub and everything. Like Pornhub, RedTube, all that shit, like the tube sites were the fucking enemy at that point because they were legitimately stealing people's content and making it worthless.
Mm-hmm.
So you could get in and just have your agent book you 4 to 5 times a week.
Wow.
And make a fucking good living. Like one of the girls I worked for when I first got in, made pretty deep into 6 figures, just fucking showing up for her bookings.
Yeah.
Escorting happened, but it was only talked about behind closed doors. Mm-hmm. There wasn't anyone being as forthright about like talking about their tour dates on their Twitter. Mm-hmm. Like that shit was really shunned, even though it definitely still happened.
Right.
I mean, those are really the big differences.
Do you think OnlyFans changed the industry? Or was it something else?
So the tube sites definitely changed the industry first.
Uh-huh.
Because the tube sites because they were stealing people's content and shit like that, drove a lot of smaller productions under.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't compete if like your margins are thin and like they're just giving your shit away. The model of everything being free hurt a lot of paid sites. So a lot of those just went way the fucking dodo. OnlyFans, I mean, originally it was like ManyVids and clips for sale and shit like that, filled a niche of people that were willing to come forward and like be their own production house.
Mm-hmm.
But escorting, I believe, got much more prevalent, and that's how it got much more out in the open. So people just needed to fucking survive. Like,
yeah,
you know, yes, there are people that made fantabulous fucking money. There was also a lot of people that were scraping by to barely fake their fucking rent and like were doing full service work because that's the only way they were going to fucking eat.
Yeah.
And you fast forward to OnlyFans. OnlyFans just made it more accessible. OnlyFans was just the perfect fucking timing because OnlyFans didn't really take off until the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
It was there, but it didn't really take off till like everyone was stuck at home. Everyone had fucking stimulus money to burn.
I wonder who was the first person in OnlyFans history to post a nude. I heard it was Adriana Chechik's.
Wouldn't surprise me.
But then I also heard that it may have been Austin Wolf, who is a gay performer.
Also,
two different things.
Also wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I'm just like, who decided that that was what they were going to do? And then when that happened,
well,
how did it get out where it was like, oh, we can do this?
So,
and then your post office lady down the street was like, I ain't got nothing to do.
So, you know, OF started off as like a Patreon competitor, right?
Well, I know people were like knitting and shit.
But I mean, that was their intent, was to be a Patreon competitor.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
And then at some point, I believe one of the owners of StreamMates got involved. And that's when it started shifting towards adults.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason, like, the TOS was fucking horrible. That's part of the reason, like, they weren't set up with any fucking verification or anything because they were a Patreon competitor. They weren't set up for 2257. They weren't set up for actual verification.
Mm-hmm. I remember when they decided to they're like, oh, we're done with this, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, your bread and butter?
Well, they were trying to sell.
Out. Yeah. Well, might still be happening.
It may still happen. There's too much money involved for them not to try.
Yeah. They're working their way out, but I do have the review on the sex doll.
That is way too busty to be Brittany.
I kind of want to read this. Is that okay? And I know it's getting late, so.
Can you read?
I think so.
Well, that makes one of us.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you even know what your shirt says?
It's black.
It's, say, T-E-X-S. Metal Alliance.
Does.
Mm-hmm.
This is a random band shirt from 2006.
Really? That's cool, though. It looks nice.
It's a little beat up, but...
Yeah, you can get a shirt from fucking Fashion Nova that looks just as beat up, and it's brand new for like $50. Isn't that bullshit?
Hey.
People want those shirts.
I became depressed the first time I saw an AC/DC shirt in that fucking Macy's. It's like, are you fucking kidding me right now? People are going to spend how much fucking money on it?
That would be very depressing. Yeah. I was depressed when I went to an emo night recently here in Hollywood, and I looked around and I'm like, this was my middle school. And it's like going to a 70s groovy night. Recall, like, oh, let's all get together and celebrate our old days. It's weird.
It is.
Yeah.
Especially for the 21-year-olds that were like a fucking fetus when this came out.
Mm-hmm. For real. I'm going to read this review because it was written in May 4th. I actually asked Gustavo if I could read it, and he never announced that he wrote this review, and it's so fucking hilarious. Do you know any Britney Spears lyrics?
Oops, I did it again.
Yeah, at least you know one. I don't know if anyone will know these, but then, yeah, if you need to wrap up, we can. But
are you trying to get out of here?
Well, no, but I don't know, like, how long these things go.
Well, Look at you doing your homework.
You'll have, well, I know like people don't want to listen to a podcast that's more than 30 to 45 minutes long.
Well, we're well past that.
Oh, I know. So you have fun editing this shit. Or maybe you'll just have like 4 parts.
No, I put out 2-hour podcasts.
Nice. Cool. We'll come back, you guys. Let this be your cliffhanger. It is a review by Gustavo Turner, the Britney mini sex doll torso. If your loneliness is killing you and you must confess, you still believe in the therapeutic power of orgasmic release, you should definitely make some room in your life for Britney. You could call Britney the first lady of Tantally, literally. The high-end sex doll maker's catalog opens with her. Fan fiction offered on the manufacturer's website describes Britney as a 22-year-old college student who is about to graduate from Pratt College of Arts with a designer's perspective and a passion for life. But let's be real. Once you receive a Britney and free her from her discreet box, she can be a slave for you. And you can imagine her asking you to show her how you want it to be. Spend some time exploring every inch of her skin made of premium TPE and the torso's 2 ready-for-action holes. And you'll feel that if you're not with Britney, you'll lose your mind. But no worries. Give her a sign, and you can hit on her one more time or as many times as you like. For sex doll beginners and advanced enthusiasts alike, Britney offers the best version of the headless and limbless experience, particularly for folks with penises. This highly rated mini sex doll torso, available in fair and wheat hues, weighs 28 pounds, some of which clearly reside in her magnum, that's a big word.
Who can't read now?
Magnanimous, supple, 32B cup breasts. A metal spin allows for repositioning so you can walk Britney through the entire Kama Sutra until you almost imagine her whispering, "Gimme, gimme more, gimme more, gimme more," from where her lips would be, because she's has no head. Like all torso dolls, Britney allows for a phone or tablet to be placed where the head should be, so her lover can enjoy, ethically of course, their preferred pornography while allowing the scientifically designed ribbed and ridges in her vaginal and anal canals to lead the act to completion. A warning though, lube, water-based, is not optional, particular for uncut penis havers. Britney's box does not include it or cleaning kits, both of which are available as extras from Tantally. Britney's TPE skin is non-toxic and her cleavage has been designed for maximum boob job efficiency. For those looking for something beyond the false missionary doggy dichotomy, Tantally has done it again. Love her, hate her, say what you will about her. If you seek Britney, you shall always find her ready for action. It's Britney, bitch. That was Gustavo's review.
That is ridiculous.
I know. And he said, I will only write this review if I can do it with Britney Spears song titles.
I mean, first and foremost, if you have any confidence, you could get the real Britney these days. She is free.
That's honestly, though, was she your schizophrenic ex-girlfriend?
I wish. I would be such in a better tax bracket. She pays dudes to be done with them.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, she gave Kevin Federline like fucking 6 figures to be done with his ass. She gave the recent dude a fair amount of money to be done. Sign me up for that payday.
She gave Kevin Federline money, though.
She did in the divorce.
Was it her or her dad who decided that? Because she was under some...
No, they divorced before she was under stewardship.
Yeah. God, Britney.
Because I remember being like, especially because she was still very young and hot at that point.
Yeah, she's just... a lot of shit going on with her.
But it's just one of those things where like 6 figures to bang Britney, like sign me up.
Yeah.
I mean, sign me up today. I'd still do it.
You probably should. She needs somebody to take care of her.
Oh, that's not me.
She knows how to handle knives.
I know. Kind of turns me on a little.
Everybody knows. They saw.
They did.
And then she's like, they're fake.
They're not.
I'm like,
those,
did you see the original video?
I saw parts of it.
Did you see the dogs in the background?
I did not. That's
something people have not brought up is her dogs. Her little dogs are like walking into the shot and they're terrified. They're like, I didn't even know she had these little dogs. Where did they come from?
Probably some high-end breeder.
Yeah. They're like, oh no, mom's going to give us a grooming with those knives again.
I'm curious. How would you feel about being a headless torso that people fuck?
Honestly, I would probably hate it. That sounds like Ted Bundy shit.
I don't disagree.
Wait, so I've heard of like, I know a guy who has one and he likes it because he could put the tablet like where the head goes. But like, it's kind of weird to imagine a head there and it's just like this like wax thing that's just like staring at you.
I mean, all of it's weird.
Yeah.
I'm not here to kink shame anybody, but all of it's weird. Like,
yeah, the hole's a hole.
But it's not.
But it is. Some people, it's just like, oh, well, here we are.
Bro, just fuck ugly girls.
Yeah. But even that's like work, you know?
Not really.
Really? You just like go out and what? Throw some treats down and
just be remotely like a human being.
Yeah.
A lot of people are, desperate for companionship. So if you are willing to really lower your standards.
Yeah. See, that's the thing is like everyone has their standards. And that's probably why I don't date.
What are your standards?
God. I've got terrible standards. You shouldn't even ask me that.
Oh, no, I definitely want to know now.
It's just like, I mean, now I'm like, as long as you're not fucking crazy and you're career driven.
Yeah, but is that
like you have to be just like a good person?
What qualifies as a good person?
Someone who's not a narcissist, somebody who isn't just out trying to get one up over someone. I like someone who is successful, but somebody who is also very humble about it. And someone who...
But how do you measure success?
Success to me is, I like high achievers.
Okay.
Because I'm a high achiever. And it's not a status thing where I'm like, I want to latch onto you and use you and take all your money. That's not even it. Like, I am programmed to be in relationships where I am supportive and like I'm able to push. Like I'm a pusher. I should be a fucking softball mom or something. Like I'm a pusher, but I also push myself too. Do you know? So it's like I need someone who is high achieving and just not a fucking douchebag.
Best of luck to you on that.
I know. That's why I'm like, my standards are not there. And then also on top of that, I'm like, I want them to have a really nice body. So I'll like post these fucking thirst trap dudes. And I'm like, this shit's, it's like, that's like.
You can't have all of it.
Right. But it's just like the guys who post to Sports Illustrated girls. It's like we all want these things. And then you meet these girls and they're crazy.
I honestly feel like most dudes that are like, oh my God, I want like. You don't actually know what you're asking for.
Yeah, you don't.
It's just like the dudes, I talk shit about them all the time. They're like, I love you to X performer. Like, you don't know this person.
Yeah, she's a fucking bitch.
Or has her own fucking demons.
Yeah.
Or.
Sorry, not all girls. Like, no, like all girls are not bitches. But like, there are some people that they're real like, she's amazing. And I'm like, she's a bitch.
Right. They're all very real people.
Nobody wanted to work with her. That's sad. She was so mean.
Right. Or. She's got a lot of fucking trauma, or there's 100, like, you want to have an orgasm with this person.
Yeah, and that's fine. But don't be like, I'm in love with this girl. It's like, you don't know her though.
Right. Well, unfortunately, a lot of people with penises can't tell the difference.
I get told I'm loved all the time. I have guys tell me they love me all the time, and I'm like, you don't know me.
No, they want to fuck you.
Yeah, and I'm like, just say that. That's fine.
Yeah, but unfortunately, like society has trained us to be like, oh, I can't just flat out say that.
See, but I would prefer that. Honestly, I'm weird. Like, for me, for someone to just like love bomb me, it doesn't work. For me, if I'm beginning a relationship with someone and they're automatically like love bombing me, giving me gifts, doing all these things, it's just, I feel uncomfortable.
Well, you should.
Yeah.
But there should be a degree like, yes, if they're doing extravagant gifts, shit like that,
yeah,
that's weird. But it's like, Oh, I got you this thing at Dave & Buster's with the tickets. That shouldn't be weird.
No, that's not weird. But there's also that balance though, because I think I like, then there's the fizzle out where it's like, if there's nothing happening, like if you're kind of slow building, which is nice, but then nothing's changing, I get bored and I move on.
No, I feel that too. It's a weird, like you just have to have the right mix, because it's just like, I have definitely run away from relationships where like shit was too intense too quickly. Like definitely was involved with a girl who she lived back in Chicago when I was already out here. We met through mutuals, like hooked up in an Exotica a couple times. I got real drunk and flew her out here.
Love that.
Had a bunch of extra miles.
I'm so drunk, I'm gonna just bloop.
Yep. No, I really did do that. Like this is at the point where like I had still like 6-digit Delta miles lying around. I got drunk. I'm like, what are you doing? You want to come to LA? I fucking flew her out.
And she came.
And then by the end of the weekend was like, I'm thinking about moving here. And I fucking...
She said that?
Yeah.
Ooh.
And I'm like, nah, nope.
Yeah, some shit moves fast.
I'm like, that is way too fast. And also the just horrible timing of the situation, because like while she was out here, I found out my father had fucking Alzheimer's. Ooh. And like she was trying, like she's a sweetheart, but she was trying to console me like she was my fucking girlfriend. And I'm just like, girl, yes, I may have come in you a few times, but like we are not here.
Yeah.
You were talking about moving out here. You were consulting me about my like, yeah, this is just, whoa, breaks.
Yeah. Some people dive in way too fast.
Yeah, like that was way too quick.
And that shit happens. I've seen it. I've even had it with friendships where it's just there's so much all at once and you're like, whoa, we just met. Like we just met within a few months and you love me. And it's like, I don't feel that way about you. I like you, but I don't love you. But then it's the opposite too, where it's like things are going slow, gradual, but then there's no growth. It's just this weird thing.
For sure.
It's just like, and then they all of a sudden want you to go on a trip with them. And you're like, I forgot about you. Just communicate daily a little bit. Like, hey,
yeah,
how's your day going? Or just like little things. I need space, but I also, if a relationship's going to happen, give me my space to focus on work and do my things, but still check in.
No, and that's 100% fair.
Yeah.
I will admit as a dude, I'm bad about that shit because I am so focused on my work all the fucking time. But like I am negligent to a lot of fucking people, including romantic partners at times. Because it's just like, until like, oh, I have a boner. I'd like to do something about this. And then all of a sudden like,
and then that's but that's what I'm saying. It's like, that's when you know the kind of relationship that is. It's like, okay, this is like when you are needing something.
And it's not intentional. Like that's not like I'm going into it with these situations. Right. It's just like,
and that's fine. People should have that.
It's a lot of times just like overworked, out of sight, out of mind. And I should be better about it. Like I admit that.
Well, if you ever want a relationship with somebody, you should.
Yeah.
But that's where the effort comes in.
Well, but it's also just like, unfortunately, being an entrepreneur, sometimes there's just not enough to fucking give. And that is the one thing I despise. I wish I'd like someone had opened my mind to before I decided to like work for myself full time. Like when you are in the fucking grind, when you are still, it's real fucking difficult to like make space for someone else. Cause it's just like, oh, I'd love to spend time with you. I'd love to get dinner with you. I have fucking 5 other projects on fucking deadline right now.
What I like, because I don't want somebody up my ass every fucking day. I actually don't really care for the long calls every day. I don't care for the text messages every day. My thing is set a day in the week where you can get together. Because then I'm like, okay, cool. So I know I have to work this day, and then we're going to go get drinks and dinner on this day. And then just continue to grow from that. You know?
Yeah. Unfortunately, most people aren't that fucking understanding about it.
No, people want to all encompass you. A relationship shouldn't be all encompassing.
Well, no.
It never should be that way.
Fuck no. It should be a cool +1, not you complete me. The minute you're like, you complete me, like,
yeah, it's like you're like my soul cycle activity I treat myself with on a Saturday. Like I look forward to it.
Right?
Yeah, like I want the space to look forward to you.
Exactly. Like, oh, we can come together to do things. Like, that's how it should be. But unfortunately, especially when people get into the fucking honeymoon phase,
Oh, I have actually, you were talking about first dates. I wanted to say this, but this is not a first date. My thing, I think this would be awesome, is if you are in like once you start to really like each other a lot and you kind of feel like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, go on a fake honeymoon. Go to Mexico, tell everyone it's your honeymoon. You feel super attached, giddy, and fun. Fucking enjoy it. And then once it's done, go home, carry on. Like you can still date. But then if the relationship ends, at least you got that fun honeymoon feeling.
well, and also, that's a brilliant idea because travel compatibility is such a fucking thing.
Yeah. Trust me. I know.
Well, sorry.
But yeah. No, you're right though.
Well, I have friends that, like, I love them to death. I will never travel with them again.
Fuck no.
And one of the big things for me in a partner is someone who's willing to travel. Like, I legitimately, it's kind of fucked. But like, I'm at this point in my life not even really interested in people that have dietary restrictions because
vegans. You can say vegans.
It's not even like vegans. It's like I was like I kind of had a thing with someone like during quarantine where it was just like I really like her. I really like her as a person. She has a lot of fucking allergies.
Oh, like real ones or just like
I don't fucking know.
Accommodate to me.
As far as I know, they're real ones.
Okay.
But
I
it's
would
like
test that. I'd be like, you're allergic to peanuts? I'm like cracking open a Snickers bar.
Well, and it's a lot of fucking shit. It's just like one of my greatest joys in life is fucking traveling. And like, I've been in multiple countries where like, I don't know what I'm eating.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally like that.
I accidentally ate dog once. Yeah.
I had horse in Japan.
Gross.
It was delicious. A little greasy. I meant to eat it. But nonetheless, like when you're abroad, you're having these experiences. You can't be like, can I get the vegan menu or can I get the gluten-free menu? Like, no, we're here for the fucking adventure. And like at this point in my life, as much as like I may want to fuck you, I may want to spend time with you, I enjoy your company. This thing is going out and having these adventures are such a fucking priority to me that you don't fit in. And it sucks to have to disqualify someone by something that is completely beyond their fucking control if it's like allergies and shit like that.
So then maybe your best first date is taking her to a restaurant and learning. Because then you'll know.
I mean, you generally find out if someone's a vegan before the first date.
You find out they're a vegan immediately because that's all they can talk about.
Yeah.
Like, I love my friends, but the vegan ones, we know.
All right. And like, honestly, even if you're a full-on vegetarian and you're like, I won't do fish, it's like, well, I'm going to be in weird places in Asia that there's just going to be fish and everything.
Yeah, well, I hope you're good with starving.
Yeah, we can't communicate with the waiter to ask for...
What do they eat? Do they just like pack their own shit?
I don't fucking know. I've never traveled with those people. I'm not looking forward to doing it.
Yeah.
Like, as I've gotten older, it's just shit like, if your idea of a good time is a fucking cruise, I don't want anything to do with you.
Oh, God, cruises are great, though. Which ones have you been on?
Zero, because I don't want...
Exactly.
I do not want to go on floating Vegas with other Americans.
Yeah, but there's other ones that are actually really good. I used to be a travel agent. I know this.
The way I travel is I get a hotel or an Airbnb in the middle of a fucking neighborhood, and I go into pubs and I ask locals, what should I see in your city?
So you would never want to get on a boat that has shows, endless amounts of food, tons of alcohol, and it ports and takes you to places where you can swim with pigs.
Correct.
Okay.
I would rather just go to where that port is and do that on my own instead of having it curated and safe.
So if it was like $20,000 versus like $650 on a Black Friday sale.
You get what you pay for.
I actually like cruises, but I am very picky. Like I have to get the nice room with the balcony.
I want to experience cultures. I want to fucking...
You can. You just go and hang out with the crew.
Or I could go fucking...
It just depends. Like if you get off the boat in Jamaica, you can go and book a tour where they take you around where all the tourists go, or you can talk to a person who works on the cruise ship and they tell you where to go.
Or I could just go to Jamaica and figure it out on my own.
Perfect.
And that's what, like when I went to Colombia, like we got an Airbnb in a fucking neighborhood. We just went to bars and we just talked to people and we went, hey, what should we see? And we just explored.
That's awesome.
Right. And that's how I want to travel. Like that's the 3 times going to Japan. It's just gone to places and explored. And
Yeah.
Cuba was much of the same. Cuba was fucking a wild place. Cuba is just a weird fucking.
Yeah, I've heard.
Amazing, but just a weird.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Everyone's on a hustle. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Is it really dated? I heard it's dated.
Yes. To it, it's weird.
Like, are their outfits dated?
Not really.
Do they have cell phones?
Sort of.
Is it like those boxy kind?
So we didn't use cells while we were there.
When did you go? What year?
I was there in 2017.
Okay.
Internet, like you have to purchase internet from the government and it's only at local Wi-Fi hotspots. So we just didn't. We just were not on the internet.
Nice.
So it was like 10 days of just, my phone was a fucking camera. That's all it was.
That's awesome though. I love it.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful country. Everyone's on a fucking hustle. It's a wild place. My audience has heard quite a bit about it. But
what's the hustle? They're just working?
So it's weird. There's 2 national currencies, first and foremost. There's the Cook, which is the Cuban convertible peso, which is always 1-to-1 with USD, sort of. The reason it's sort of is you can't get Cuban currency outside of Cuba, and you have to exchange there. If you're exchanging money to Cuban money, is a 3% exchange cost. Unless it's USD, then it's an additional 10%. So it's really 87% to the...
In favor to the USD?
No,
they
charge you 13% to charge.
Got it.
To change it.
Noted.
Then there's the coup, which is the actual Cuban peso, which is actually the what they normally use, and that's what actually fluctuates with the world market and shit like that. The convertible peso is completely tourist money. Like it's only usable in tourist areas. Hell, even if you go to places and pay for it, restaurants may charge you the 3% to convert it into the other pesos. Cabs don't have meters. You negotiate with every cabbie.
Wow.
And one of my buddies picked up a Cuban girl, and he could pass for Cuban as long as he didn't talk. He was telling us that, like, when they went out and she did all the negotiating, they were paying a fraction of what we were paying, even though we had a couple people that were native Spanish speakers with us. Or they went and got a room, and she's like, don't open your mouth. And it was going to be about the equivalent of 5 USD for the room for the night. He opened his mouth. They realized that he wasn't Cuban. Went up to 15.
Wow.
People were selling us counterfeit cigars out of their apartment.
What is in a counterfeit cigar?
Depends on the quality. It may be wrapped in banana leaves. It may just be a completely fake Cuban.
Is there tobacco in it?
Sometimes.
Wow.
There are varying qualities of the counterfeits.
Wow.
Sometimes the counterfeits are just rejected from the factory. Sometimes they are just like fucking complete bullshit.
Wow.
But yeah, we went on a cigar factory tour, and we get down to the store, like the factory store, and this tour guide who has a tour, like he's not a factory tour guide, he's a like cruise ship tour guide with like a slew of Canadians. Comes up to one of my buddies, he's like, yo, you guys want factory cigars much cheaper? Like, yeah, for sure. We end up going with this dude a couple blocks away into someone's apartment.
Oh, nice.
And they start breaking out boxes of counterfeits. And real awkward situation because they were having problems getting one of the boxes open. One of my buddies breaks out a knife like to help them, and they're like, they thought we were robbing them.
Oh, wow.
So it's just everyone's on a fucking hustle there.
Yeah, that's how it was like when I was in China. I remember that even at the pro market, just buying fucking fake shit. I got some Disney DVDs. I had to like knock on a door. It was all counterfeit shit. Like it was Haji films. Do you know what a Haji film is?
I don't.
So Haji films, people when they are usually military that are deployed to watch movies, they would buy DVDs from all these different people, Middle Eastern people, but you see somebody standing up in the theater and walking out in the film because it's just like filmed
Oh, it's
in
like
the
someone actually
theater.
holding a fucking.
Yeah, so it's like you spend all this money on these DVDs and it's a Haji film. Somebody walking around with a bucket of popcorn, shit like that. It was cool.
But those are the experiences you'll never get on a cruise.
Out of cruises, I've had some fun cruises though.
But you'll never have those kind of experiences.
I had some pretty good ones. I've been on lots of cruises. I like cruises. It's easy. But I've traveled the world. I backpacked Europe for 2.5 months. I've lived in Germany for 5 years, did China for 6 months. Like I've done a lot of traveling and I still like cruises. It's easy.
Well, I mean, I'm glad that makes you happy. Not what I'm looking for.
I mean, it's not like something I prioritize, but like it's just fun. It's easy.
I have, at this point in my life especially, I have limited time and money. And I'm not looking for fucking easy. I'm looking for the adventure that I can help fill the well with. Come back and have fucking stories.
I don't know. I feel like we need to go on a cruise.
Are you taking me out on a cruise? Is that good? Aw.
I feel like if you just went on a cruise, you would be fine. You just said you have limited time and limited money. That's a cruise.
Yeah. And guess what? I can go to fucking South America with limited time and limited money. And
well, if you ever do go on a cruise, don't go on the one out of LA that goes to Ensenada. Don't do that. That's the worst cruise ever. Don't ever do that.
Done. Easily accomplished.
Yeah.
See, Sarah, I thought you were inviting me on a cruise. I was about to be really flattered.
Well, I can't pay a publicist, so.
I was going to pay my own way. Jesus, do you think I'm some suitcase pimp that I'm going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to glom onto you and let you pay my way?
I mean, you'd be very disappointed how far we would get.
To a cruise, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, between both our miles, I'm pretty sure we'd make it somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd make it to like North Dakota.
Oh, I got a lot more miles than that.
There you go.
Still a lot of Marriott points. Fuck, I have a lot of Marriott points.
Yeah, I do the Hilton points.
See, SPG Marriott's the fucking partner with Delta.
That's true.
Way too deep. Like, I'm not going to start geeking out on like.
We could, honestly. But the reason I have a lot of Hilton is because I commute back and forth from LA and Salt Lake a lot. So I have my Hilton places I always stay at. So.
Fair. Well, it actually is about the time we're going to call last call on this motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm going to finish this. I'm 2 drinks Sarah, so I'm not going to lie. This had wine in it. Still does.
You're like, I got a pregame for this podcast?
I did a little bit, but it wasn't because of you. I always have a little bit.
I won't take it too personally. But Sarah, before we get out of here, where can they find you on the things? Where can they find your comedy? All that fun shit.
My comedy is still coming. It's great. When I'm confident enough, I'll start announcing the shows I'm performing in every other Saturday, but I won't tell you where yet. But you can find everything and all things at sarahtaylor.vip. That's Sarah with an H. Definitely check me out on Instagram. I'm crazy as fuck on there.
Very entertaining. 10 out of 10.
You're not going to find a thirst trap, but you'll find me probably doing a mobster voice. Do you know how to do a mobster voice? Press your tongue against the bottom of your teeth. And then you talk like this.
Oh.
Yeah, this is how you do it. But that's where you can find me. Instagram. sarahtaylor.vip.
That is definitely a show first right there.
Yeah. Yep.
Sarah, it was an absolute pleasure. We will do this again at some point.
I hope so.
We'll take 5 or 6 bookings to get it done again.
Probably, yeah. And then maybe I can get Kazumi to come on here. She'd be fucking amazing.
I will just DM her myself if I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll appreciate the layup. I'm not going to discount the layup.
I'm not going to tell her to come on here. Fuck that. You're right. I just said the thing that bothered you earlier, which was I'm going to convince my friend.
Well, seeing as Kazumi follows me, I don't think you'll have to convince her. I just have to actually ask.
Yeah, you should ask her. She's great. She's busy as fuck, though.
It's fine. We'll make it happen. It's one of those. I'll bitch about that off air. But anyways, until next week, drink up, motherfuckers.